Game number 3 concluded, but we still got one more to go. You're joining us on VCT Game Changer Southeast Asia. I'm Ulstrad. Alongside with me is Jace, also called Jaeger, and also Key, who is also called Kui. Now, we're going to be your panel here today, and we're going to be breaking it down for you guys. And let's start by talking about the upcoming game that we have. We've already broken down the previous one, already talked a lot about it. So let's go and move on a little bit forward here. We got two great teams at the very end of the day. We got Renatus White versus Aricat.Aresta. So I'm going to start with Renatus White. Key, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about these guys, so what are your thoughts on them for now?
Well, they've been the third place team in terms of circuit points. They've always consistently made it to the playoffs, right? So they're really interesting because they've made a shuffle. Dodona left the team, and of course, Kohaibi came in to fill in the shoes, and they have been doing well, but at the same time, we've seen all the other teams rise up and improve. We haven't seen Renatus White lately since Open 6, of course, and for quite a while, we won't know what they're capable of. We don't know how much they've improved since then, and we're starting to see other teams make changes to the way they play the game, really improve on how they play the game, and let's see if Renatus White actually has brought improvements to their team.
Yeah, we're taking a look at their lineup real quick, as you just mentioned them. Kefir Daddy, Envious Mochi X, Kohaibi, Legit Queen, and Rue. So, a couple of new changes in their roster. I think they're bringing in Legit Queen, who might be playing for Rue. So I'm not so sure how that's going to play out, whether they're going to be playing her as a sixth man or woman, shall I say. Whether it's going to be like a rotation or whether they're just going to bring her in as a sub. We're going to see that later on. But Jace, do you think bringing on a new player, could that be like the winning formula that they need to finally get out of that ever third place that they keep getting?
I mean, it absolutely could be. Sometimes it is just chemistry that makes a difference, and sometimes like you've got a great roster on certain maps, and on another map the chemistry doesn't work right, and you have to bring in that sixth player to solve that equation. And so I think having a sixth player can definitely be the solution.
Yeah, well, we're looking at Aricat.Aresta right now, and I'm going to go back to you on this one, Jace. You wanted to talk about them in particular, but we have the roster right here. Yoki, Noxy, Rudy S, Nuki, Rosie, and Alyssa. They've been here for quite a while. One of the underdogs, I think, to win this tournament, but potentially one of the dark horses, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a fan of especially Yoki's work. She's been in IGL for God knows how long, and actually, she used to be with Kohaibi and Mochix as well. They used to be teammates, and knowing how much of a thinker she is, having that mind on your team, and having that now going up against them and knowing how they're thinking and whatnot, they might have a little bit of an advantage here. You never know. They did struggle a little bit against Big Scythe, who got absolutely destroyed earlier today, and that was like a 3-2 to them. So it's not like they've had some huge gigantic performance, but they are a learning team, and they do have a fragging and learning IGL as well. And I mean, Yoki's got 19 MVPs at this point. I think it's Noxy who's close behind. And she's on 11 MVPs, and she's the one that plays a duelist. Yoki's been that initiator time and time again because she likes to keep an eye on things. So I think that between these two teams, Renatus White, definitely the team to be favored just based on how things have gone in the past. But Aricat.Aresta, they're not a team to be slept on.
Oh, absolutely not here. And considering the way that this bracket looks right here, it's a little bit shaky. Key, we take a look at the bracket and where exactly we are. This lower side of this bracket, not the easiest, sure, because Alter Ego is there, but I'd say it's definitely harder than the one we currently have on the upper side of it. I mean, we're taking a look at it right now. On the top, you got NGX, and you got Mad right up there. Here, Alter Ego Celeste is going to move on through as well. But a little bit more forgiving, I think, for Aricat, because if they fall here, they might go against Arise and potentially VLT. So that might be a little bit better if they go up against Asteria there. But it's still not going to be an easy run, even if they do get into the lower bracket.
Definitely not. And I think that out of all the series today, this probably will be the closest one between Renatus White and Aricat.Aresta. The first two today were pretty much speedruns. Like, both NGX and Mad really just came to play. And on the side of A Celeste, it seems like they were challenged quite well by TC Arise. On the side of Renatus White and Aricat.Aresta, I think these two teams will be the closest one that we'll see. And I could potentially see a 2-1 here.
Yeah, I think it might go 2-1 as well. I definitely think that the skill level of these teams are pretty close together. I think we will have to take a little bit of a closer look, especially when we do look at the maps, which is coming up here. And that I really think could give us a little bit of a better idea of things here. But in between that, of course, we do have a little bit of a video to show you guys. So please take a look at this. We got a Q&A with one of our teams we got to speak to right before this tournament.
Hi, I'm Kaline, and my Indian name is Aphrodite. I represent Renatus, and the current role I'm playing is Initiator and sometimes Sentinel.
Hello, I'm Kohapi from Renatus and I play duelist for the team. I used to play professional CSGO at the top of Asia for Team PTIG from China.
For me, I have no prior experience to any esports, so I played Apex Legends previously before I joined Valorant. For my team, we used to be Impaler and we joined doing Open 2. And during this whole FSL journey, one of our player left, which is Donut. And during that point of time, we thought that we might have to disband because we don't really see a lot of Singaporean girl player in the scene. And that is when we actually invited Abby to join our team. And we really see a lot of hope and potential in the team. So we are trying our best to do even better than before and to get top in the Asia team.
I only came back to play competitive was because of one of the current players of Renatus, Mochi. But after joining the team, I feel really comfortable with each and every one of them and I don't regret joining it. Initially, our problem is with the comms as I wasn't really familiar with my current teammates, which makes us hard to speak to one another, but we overcame it by bonding more together by playing other games that makes us more comfortable with each other over time.
For me, individually, I think one of the greatest difficulties I faced was that I have to change my role from being a Sentinel to Initiator as I have never touched Sova in any of my ranked games or unrated games. So I remember during the first time I played Sova in tournament, I was always failing my recons and my ultimates, and ever since that day, I will always go to custom to train up and to learn new lineups and even go as far to asking Sova players to teach me new stuff to overcome this difficulty of mine. I think in my opinion, it will be Mad Army because as you all know, they kind of disbanded in the early Open and they just reformed during the wildcard, and I'm very excited to see what they have and also their long-time rivalry with AE to snatch the top few position in FSL Elite. Currently, Mad Army is definitely in the spotlight, and I think one of the player that we all should actually watch or look out for will be their new member, Ginny Naja. I heard that she has a lot of experience in Valorant, and I'm really curious and excited to see how she perform against every team in this tournament. Certainly, I think everyone would wish to see the women gaming community gaining more recognition for our hard work, and hopefully with more future girls tournament or female tournaments, we can find more potential and hardworking players in the scene to create a more wholesome and cohesive community for us.
I hope that more girls will be interested in playing competitive and to focus on improving themselves individually, just to prove that all genders can be competing at the same level. I want to thank everyone for supporting me, and I also really appreciate all of you.
I would also like to thank everyone for supporting me and Renatus White, and we'll promise to be the better version of ourselves and representing Singapore to clinch a top spot in the female scene in the future.
You heard it from none other than Renatus White themselves, one of the lone standing Singaporean representatives here in the FSL Game Changers, and they're looking to make a mark. You heard it from them. And a couple of players to look out for. We heard from them and saw already earlier today Ginny from none other than Mad Army. So for those of you who don't know about Ginny and are wondering why everybody's talking about Ginny, Ginny used to be a player from at the very start of the year, a team called Attack All Around, which was a very, very successful team, one of the front runners, and then ended up playing in Foxy Aracordite, never really having that, success. These were male teams, and Ginny was absolutely dominating in the male scene, which just goes to show how important it is to get these women into positions that they can play and absolutely dominate in no matter where they are in, because they can compete. And so that's what we're doing here today. To talk about that is me on the panel, Estrado, joined by Jace and by Key, also known as Jaeger and also known as Kui. So we are going to be starting to break this down, taking a look at a couple of the players that we do want to highlight already at the very beginning of it. So let's go ahead and pull up our head-to-head as we zone in on two of the players we really want to talk about. Key, I know you got a lot about these two players. Hit me with it.
Well, of course, Kohaibi was the one we saw in the interview just now. She was the latest addition to Renatus White, and of course, they've come into form. She replaced Donut, which was the star player of Renatus White at that point in time, and now Kohaibi herself, she has one of the highest ACS across FSL, so she is definitely the player to watch. On the other hand, Yoki, I think Jaeger can also add on to this a bit later on. She's also been in competitive FPSs for quite a while. She's been IGL for the longest time. They were actually teammates before this, and Yoki herself is no slouch, but she plays the initiator role, prefers to let her teammates do the fragging, and eventually she can frag on her own.
Yeah, and they're absolutely stellar performance, and we're going to be definitely watching out for what they do later on in the day. I do think that this matchup does favor Renatus White a little bit. Would you say you agree with me on that one, Jaeger?
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously see Kohaibi is just pure talent, right? And in terms of individual skill, she knows how to hit heads, and you can see it across the score lines there. The only thing that wasn't in her favor was the assists. And that's because Yoki is, of course, the initiator. She plays that Sova. You get that extra damage being done by shock darts and whatever else. It also means that you're the one getting that damage done enough to the point where your teammates can then capitalize. So being a good assistant to your team is always super important. But when you're Kohaibi, maybe you don't need assistance because she can just take them out all by herself. So... yeah, fair enough.
You make a great point there, because you do see it in a lot of games that Renatus White do play. When it comes to the people who are, just so good at anchoring and playing all on their own, Kohaibi is one of those people that you look to be sort of like your crux and your foundations. But speaking of foundations, let's see where we will be building ours as we look into the map select itself, where our battlefield will be here today. It's going to be firstly, landing on none other than Haven, followed by Icebox, and then by Breeze. So the big boys, the big maps of Valorant are coming here to play. All of these maps going to be, those long angles, wide open spaces. Key, how do you see this affecting this bracket? This game?
I actually think that this favors people like Kohaibi a lot because of the long-range fights. Like you mentioned, I think everyone mentioned, she's just good at clicking the heads, and on maps like these, it's definitely going to favor them. Icebox can have a little bit of the corners, so I think that's the reason why Aricat.Aresta picked that. But Breeze, being the the last map here, actually is going to be really, really scary. So, I mean, we said that it's probably going to go all 3 games, and I think that we're going to see Breeze in this map. And Renatus White, I would give them the little bit of advantage on the ranged fights.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the maps right now, and, honestly, for Renatus White, I'm not entirely too convinced. I mean, we look at their win rates right here. Haven, 50% here for Renatus White, only 50%. Their most successful map is Ascent, which was taken away from them. Now they're left with Icebox. They were at 55% as well, so not entirely very convincing, and 25% only on Breeze. Having said that, they've only played 4 maps. And on the other side, Aricat.Aresta, they're loving this, because their maps, Haven, 75% win rate. Breeze is also a 50-50, and Icebox is a 20% win rate. So it is definitely going to be up in the air, Jace, as we go into this map select. I'm not entirely convinced that these teams are very comfortable on these maps, and I have no idea how this can affect the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you've got... It's a lot of long angles. You're right, this does favor Kohaibi because it means a lot of chaos. It means a lot of angles that you have to take care of, and having to be able to flick between so many targets. Sure, you can be assisting your teammates with the likes of Yoki and Aricat.Aresta, but when you've got individual skill like that coming into play, it does actually favor Kohaibi. Thing is, in terms of those individual individual maps, yeah, it doesn't favor Renatus White as much. Sorry, I'm hearing a cat outside. That's a little bit strange. My apologies. But for Aricat.Aresta, they have Haven as one of their best maps, but Icebox is one of their worst maps. So Yeah, it is a toss-up between those two.
Now let's take a look at the agents right now and see excuse me, whether we're going to be seeing a little bit more of a comfortable lineup here as we go into Haven, Aricat.Aresta versus Renatus White, and it's looking like it's pretty all standard here. I do love the double initiator coming from Aricat.Aresta. On the other hand, Renatus White, they're going to go for the only one initiator but double duelist this time around. Key, your thoughts?
I really prefer a double initiator, especially on a map like Haven. Really being able to get into the site, mix the recon bolt with the hawk, really gets you into C sites. So the sites are most difficult to get into. And I think that for Haven, especially on the attacking side, you really want to be able to get into the site at will. And Aricat.Aresta are prepping for that, even though they're starting on the defensive side.
Yeah, well, what about you, Jace? Any thoughts on this matchup? We're seeing the Omen come out. It's not entirely very popular pickup. Astra on the other side here, and yet again a Cypher.
Choose your agent.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more famous on the side of the Renatus White side, and Envious gonna be that fragging IGL. So hopefully we'll see a couple of those AWP shots ring through, as they are the big maps today, and so they always take advantage of those long ranges. And I think both lineups can work. Of course, Omen, as you said, less popular, but some people just prefer to have a blind over a Gravity Well. So fair enough.
Well, last time that they met with each other, Aricat.Aresta lost 0-2 to Renatus White, and that was all the way back here in in the Open number 6, not too long ago. We'll see if they can make a comeback and get revenge from the last time that they played together. But to tell us that story, it's going to be all up to the caster. So, all the casters on desk, tell us all about it.
All right, we're going into this game, of course. Renatus White and Aricat.Aresta, the last series of the day, and the whole desk felt that it's probably going to go through all 3 games. So what do you feel, Donut?
Well, I would want to agree with them because of the performance of each of the individuals playing in the team. But basically, this is also a map picked by Renatus White, right? So I think this is really gonna go into their favor. But for map number 2, I'm guessing it will be different, because right now in the map of Haven, it's going to be Renatus White starting on the attack and Aricat.Aresta starting on the defense. But in terms of this attack, Envious is already tagged up and dead right now. But there is still a lot on the line for the team of Renatus White, because Kahibi and the rest of the teammates, they're just waiting out the smoke. And I feel like the perfect opportunity now for them to go in is once that smoke dissipates, they'll be ready for the initiate. But given this, now Yoki sees the head of Mojix, but she is the one getting tagged up. So now they're going to be ready for this. But the rotations have already come in. There are 4 people guarding this site at the moment. And right now, there's going to be that paranoia blocking their vision. And that's going to be Aphrodite there with a save. But there's just one person remaining, and that's Alyssa. What can the Cypher do? She still has the Cyber Cage, but is it going to be enough? She needs the frags. Aphrodite is very low, so she uses a Cyber Cage now to take cover. And she repositions. She pushes through the smoke, and she will spot out that Cypher gets a headshot, but Mochi, she will be there for the trade.
Yeah, that was really surprising because Renatus White, they were actually at the numbers disadvantage, and Aricat.Aresta already stacked onto the site, but it was still be able to go guns blazing into that A site, took everyone but I believe it was Alyssa down. And then they all just got taken down, and Renatus White just brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, how Renatus White can be able to just turn around that pistol round, that was just amazing, because they really needed this to maybe gain the momentum going forward, because the map of Haven is really their pick, right? So once Envious was down, there was still that salvage of that. So it was just really mere coordination of where they will be peaking. But right now, it's Envious again towards A, but they are spread out. So it's going to be Envious versus Rudy here. No tags just yet, but the shock darts will also miss. But in terms of the attacks, they were leaning forward towards A, but the call for it is just really mere wasting all of the utilities now.
Yeah, it's...
Now the rotations are coming in now towards that C-side key.
I think it's really smart for them to take all those out. Now that both shock darts are out, you can expect that there's no lineup that's going to be used onto the plant side. So they can just go into the site and not worry too much about any utility I mean, there's still a smoke coming in. They're rushing into the site. Yoki is there, but gets caught by Kohaibi walking to that smoke. Noxy takes Envious down, though. Kohaibi and MochiX getting kills off their own with that Spectre. Ever so deadly, the spike is going to go down, and it's all up to Rudy's with a classic here. Not much she can do as she takes a grenade to the face and gets taken down by Kohaibi.
Yeah, and if the team of Renatus White wins this bonus round, then it's gonna be a battle now for Team Aricat.Aresta. So what they did do for that specific round is they used all of the utilities towards A, but little did they know there was going to be that rush push towards C. Of course, there was a weapon disadvantage for them, but right now, the rifles, will it win them this round? Maybe get that third round turnaround, as people would say it, going into now round number 3.
Yeah, I love that third round turnaround. That would be great, but they're gonna try their luck onto the A side, and there's that turnaround starting right now. Envious with a quick kill onto Yoki, that Sheriff, ever so deadly. She has not done any damage in the first 2 rounds, actually, and now she gets an immediate big frag on to the enemy jet. And now she's going to be able to pick up this gun as well. That upgrade is huge for them because they need this range. They need to be able to use this Vandal to counter Aricat.Aresta's big guns.
Now Noxy, she feels that there is going to be somebody pushing up, but she just really takes this off angle instead. They're playing it slow right now, but they're leaning towards that A site, and that there's only one person defending this, and that's going to be the Sky and as well as, the Sova. But Rudy's, she's gonna hear all of the footsteps and gets that one kill towards Kohaibi. But now Envious has entered the site and gets through already for this round. And it's again the Cypher remaining. Alyssa, what can she do? But there's this crossfire between Mochi and Envious. What can she do now? She still has, of course, that weapon to her advantage. Let's not doubt what the Vandal can do for this round. But she is out of utilities because all of her cyber cages are there towards the C site. So I think she's going to opt for that save. Quite smart though, because maybe they'll rush towards C the next round, and this might be something powerful for her to use given those rush.
Yeah, if I were Aricat.Aresta, I'd actually take maybe put Alyssa onto the A side, and the reason I'm saying that is because Envious, pushing forward again, but Mochi is going to take Alyssa down. But Envious loves pushing the A side. She's done that every single round so far, and being able to put the trap wires there, even if you don't commit the Cypher there, just discourages the Jet from dashing in. Every single time she's actually dashed into the A side here, clean kill onto Yoki with a Sheriff headshot. Rudy's gets traded here by Legit Queen and Kohaibi, and Envious with the Vandal that she picked up. She's the Vandal herself as she takes this triple kill, but Alyssa takes her down eventually, stopping her hot streak here, but Mochi X is there to trade and clean things up. Renatus White with the 3 rounds in a row for them right now.
Yeah, 3 rounds. That was supposed to be the third round turnaround, but they didn't really get it to their favor because right now Envious, she's always going to be peeking towards A. She's waiting for somebody, but I mean, after those rounds, I think they'll be a little bit more scared to try and peek this out again. But again, this is gonna be a C hit. But the Cypher is towards A. The good thing about this is at least they'll be covered up here by that Cosmic Divide. Just one ghost signal by that Astra. Now the wall is up, and now Envious, she's gonna be dashing in towards the site. She is down to 5 HP, but she will still be able to get that plant. Noxy though, she's holding on to her dear life. She will be shut down here by Aphrodite, and again it's going to be the hunt now for Legit Queen against Rudy S. Once the Cosmic Divide is down, she will be able to spot out here Mochix. She's dancing around this box, but it's gonna be Envious spotting her out, and it's a 4-0. Very dominating first 4 rounds here, Key.
Yeah, look at Envious here. Actually, when she dashed in, she actually shot at her teammate at the corner there. I think she got confused by Kohaibi hiding in the corner, which is actually hilarious. But 4 rounds in a row for Renatus White. 4-0 for them right now. Aricat.Aresta need to win this next round. This is their second bye round. They need to win this round to bring things back. Because take a look at Renatus White. Look at the creds that they have. They're just just have so much in the bank. Like, even if they lose this round, okay, that's a bit of a violation here. Look at Kohivi. She's buying her own gun when her teammates are... Mochi X actually has 8+K. I mean, you're not supposed to be doing that, but they are streaking, and it almost doesn't matter that much at this point in time because they really are doing so well against Aricat.Aresta.
Right now, it's gonna be Rudy's not spotting out Envious because she actually gets to that corner in time. But Yoki here, both of them, Rudy's and Yoki, they're supposed to be holding down the site because right now there are 3 people towards the A site, and if they let people in, that's going to be a bloodbath here. So, so given that, okay, Renatus White, they have an inkling that there may be a lot of people towards A, so they go and rotate towards B instead. But that's going to be at least a showstopper to try and get that opening kill. But it's going to be Rosie getting that one. Kuhaibi does get Noxy, but it's going to be Alyssa for that trade. And that neural theft will give them all of the information that they need for this post plan. And there's going to be a rush, and Ivy is the one there towards the back. Will she be meeting Yoki? Yoki will be the one to spot out her head, but it's going to be just Envious and Legit Queen against Yoki. She needs to be able to isolate the duels first, but she now sees Legit Queen and knows where Envious is, but Envious with a better angle gets the head of Yoki. Very, very dominating. Now 5-0 key. They've tried going on towards that A site. They rotated, and now B was unguarded. There was only just that Omen there, but given the trades that are happening, it's just quite impossible for the team of Aricat.Aresta.
When Envious plays like this, it's just so difficult to do anything. I mean, that round where she had the Sheriff and took the Vandal away, that was her bonus round. And then now she's keeping the streak alive for her team. Look at their economy. It's so good right now. 2 9Ks on them on the side of Aricat.Aresta. That was their buy round, and they can't even buy this next round even after a loss streak. This is why they need to go for a timeout, because Renatus White, they're taking control over this game, and they're showing us why they picked Haven as their first map pick, because they're just this is a bloodbath right now.
Yeah, I mean, all of the duels are really favoring Renatus White at the moment, but the timeout here by Aricat may help them out in terms of their defense, because they have all the things that they need in terms of the retake. Maybe they can just play for all of the utilities that they have now. They have the Hunter's Fury online. They also have the Seekers and the Blade Storm for Yoki, but is that going to be enough? Because right now, Renatus White, they're winning their duels. They're pushing in duos, and that's going to be harder in terms of the trade. It seems like how they are rotating, it's quite, I mean, the defending team, Aricat.Aresta, they seem to be a little bit scrambling towards the map. So they have to gain that composure, and maybe that timeout is something that would help them.
Yeah, it looks like they're really looking for answers here. They were thinking of forcing on some of them, but then in the end they decided to just eco this round because they don't really have the creds to make this round work that well. They need to hit their shots, and I think they just need to be maybe slightly more aggressive to throw the tempo off Renatus White. Here's the Hunter's Fury getting committed. Rudy's might be able to get K for the ID, and she gets taken down. The plan is going to go down onto the B side, but Kuhaibi takes Alyssa down. Mochi X getting kill off her own. Noxy gets a headshot with that Sheriff. The blades are missing though from Yoki. She does not have the Blade Storm anymore. She peeks out with the Vandal, and she's still Noxy with another headshot from that Sheriff. It's now down to a 2v2. It looks pretty dicey for Renatus White right now, and she gets spotted. The spike is still not being defused, but there's Legit Queen and Mochi X getting a kill apiece at the exact same time. And Renatus White are 6-0 right now against Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, that was a save round for the team of Aricat, but there is still hope. Right now, they are able to buy up maybe rifles for the next round, but the firepower of Renatus White is just uncontainable right now. Getting a 6-0, 6 rounds in terms of the deficit. Aricat, they need to really wake up. At least they have that operator now in the hands of Yoki, but will it be used? Because right now, they're leaning towards maybe an A rush, and it's only Rudy's remaining here trying to defend this site.
That's where it feels bad when you buy an operator, right? Like, you save up so much, you're down 0-6, you buy an operator, and it doesn't pay off because you don't get an opening frag. And the rest of Renatus White, they're already moving on to A. I don't see them getting an op kill at this point in time, at least not until the retake.
Not until the retake. At least Rudy knows that there's going to be Envious there. Really, behind that smoke. Maybe if she tries to just pre-fire that smoke, but it's going to be Envious to be the first one towards this site. Alyssa is now traded out. She was able to get kills of her own, but it wasn't just enough. Aphrodite throws in that recon bolt, but in combination with that neural theft, they have all the information that they need to keep this to their favor. Right now, 4v3, and that's going to be what the push here. The paranoia barely missing, so it's RTS's round all again. It's just Yoki with that operator. She can opt to save that, but I think it's gonna be helpful for them to get those kills first, because as you mentioned, it's a very, very healthy economy now for the team of RTS.
They're hunting her.
And
She missed the shot. Oh, this is gonna be really difficult for her, and Envious takes her down as well. Again, this is what really feels bad when you're buying that operator, especially on a map like Haven. It's so good for defense, but not for retakes. It's actually probably the worst gun that you could have for a retake onto the A site, because there's just no angle for you to go from Heaven, and then going in from spawn as well. It's just so difficult to go in with that operator, especially if you're the last one remaining. And for the side of Aricat.Aresta, that was a big gamble for them, and now their economy is yet again in shambles, and Renatus White are sitting pretty on top with 5 rifles, and they're not getting stopped right now.
Oh, looking at this, given it's a map of Haven, right? They're in the Temple of Doom right now, given the exchanges of buying and saving weapons for this round. But right now, they're playing default, the team of RTS. They're playing it safely because they might have a little bit of a trick up their sleeve given this save round. But the team of RTS, they're ready for any type of aggression for the team. It looks like they're leading towards A again. And this should be a crossfire setup between Noxy and Yoki. They're gonna be tagged up by that Hunter's Fury. Not gonna quite catch Yoki there, but it's gonna be Kohaibi and Envious getting the kills. But right now, Envious with that Blinkstorm, such a monster, getting those headshots. But is it... She's gonna be out for the hunt. She throws away her gun just to secure those kills, but she's gonna be shut down here by Alyssa. And that's down to both of these team members, Alyssa and Rudy's. What can they do? They are able to pick up at least a Spectre for this retake, but is this going to be enough? Because right now they need a Recon Bolt or maybe an Outrun, but that's already wasted out. Rudy's at least gets that trade, but the spray down by Kohaibi. You might really see her as this very, very cute girl, but she is going to be that aggressive monster for the team. Looking at how they would really try and push towards the site, it seems very coordinated. And right now, in terms of the control that the team of Aricat.Aresta are trying to respond with, it's not enough.
Yeah, it's just so difficult right now because the only constant from Renatus White right now is Envious pushing up A long. And so far, they have not punished her even once. The only time she gets punished if she goes into the site, maybe gets a bit too greedy. But every single time, look at this. Yet again, she's going to take another A-long duel. There's no one to punish her yet. But it seems like they're going to try to punish her from short instead. 2 people pushing up short. But this is what Renatus White are very good at doing. They keep doing these defaults because they want to keep you guessing. There's no... You can't read their tempo at this point in time. And Envious is going to win that trade. That operator is yet again going to get taken down. Yoki is not going to get a kill on that operator. 4.7k, yet no kills. It just hurts so much right now. And Renatus White, they're doing so well in getting these headshots. Envious is just taking everyone down. She's shutting every single opening duel down. And Alyssa's going to take down Mochi X. So it's down to a 4v4, but they can't even rescue the operator.
No rescuing the operator now, because Yoki is also down. There's nobody who hold that weapon for them. But at least right now, Envious is out for the hunt yet again, given this showstopper combination. There's nobody there, though. So at least this is just going to open up a lot of space on towards the B side. Nobody was guarding it. There was just that tripwire, but it's not going to be enough. So Rudy's actually gets a kill, but the team of RDS, they're cleaning this up right now. Rudy's in her lonesome, down to 15 HP, and just a tag of that Phantom gets Kohaibi 3 kills for that round, a 9-2-0.
This is an absolute massacre. I'm just gonna say, Kohaibi and Envious, they're really playing their hearts out. These 2 duelists are getting the opening frags left and right. Kohaibi cleaning things up, mopping things up. And it just looks so good because everyone's just getting taken down, and right now I can't see any answers for Aricat.Aresta because I don't think this is a strategic problem. It's just that Renatus White, they're just so much sharper right now. Every single duel. And I really think that Envious should be punished at some point in time, but like, she's getting away with every single opening frag, and now they're changing things up. Look, Aricat.Aresta, they're so confused. They're still committing 3 to A, but actually they're going C9. There's nobody on the C side at this point in time.
There's going to be those tripwires at least to try and slow them down, but once the bullets are there, of course, there's nothing to stop them. Given that cosmic divide, that great wall divides them from that plant. And now that's going to be something successful again for Renatus White. But Alyssa, what else can she do? They're going to wait out this smoke, but once it dissipates, they're going to be out for the hunt. But at least Noxy gets that trade yet again. Aphrodite gets 2 already, gets another head.
What?
But that's going to be a spree down and a 4 kills. Wow,
I can't.
what a 4 kill spree down there by Aphrodite. We've been talking about her being that clutch master, clutch Aphrodite, but even guarding that plant during the post plant,
She was blind for the last kill. Like, she just ate the
Yeah.
Seeker, continued to spray still, completed the 4K. I mean, if everyone is running on all cylinders like this for Renatus White, Aricat.Aresta just don't have any answers right now. They still can buy for this round, but really, you're 0-10 right now. I think your morale is pretty much busted. You're gonna have to punish, get an opening frag here. Look at how much gambling they're doing right now. They committed 3 to B, trying to see if they can get an opening frag onto window. Aricat.Aresta, you can see by their positioning that they're desperate. They're sacrificing C side. There's no one defending C at all. And on a map like Haven, not defending all 3 sides is typically normal, but normally it's B that you leave open. And Envious, yet again with another opening frag, does not get a second one though as Rosie takes her down. Kohibi is good for the trade though, and A side is gonna get taken yet again. This is the most difficult side to retake, and they're down to a 2v3. Alyssa takes down Legit Queen, and there's a neural theft coming out as well. It's gonna be, this 2v3 is still gonna be really difficult for them. Aphrodite with the bolt. Alyssa gets taken down. And it's all down to Noxy, who can't do anything at all. It's 11-0 right now for Renatus White.
I mean, I'm really wishing that Aricat.Aresta did save for that round, because this is the last round and they don't have enough money to try and stop the pushes of Renatus White. Looking at the scoreboard though, it's Kohibi and Envious really doing the job for the team, but the rest of the ladies, of course, are enabling them to try and enter towards the site. That was a perfect drone there by Aphrodite to assist the team in terms of the entry, and right now the team play is uncontested by Aricat. They just really give A freely. They try to contest it, but the aim gods really are in favor of Renatus White.
Yeah, it's definitely the aim that's going their way because, you know, you're right. Aphrodite and MochiX, they put their support in, but Envious and Kohibi are really sealing the deal with the headshots. And look, they're dashing back into the side. Alyssa is going to take one here, though. They don't spot her. She's going to take a second one down as they get detected. And this is starting to look like Aricat.Aresta's round. It's 3 versus 1 right now, but Aphrodite, we've seen her in these clutch situations. You put her in a 1v3, it looks like it's doable for her. We've seen this time and time again. 1v3s are her thing, and she might be able to sneak up to someone in garage right now. Rosie is going to get caught with a headshot. Aphrodite with the first headshot. 2 members remaining on the side of Aricat.Aresta. Let's see if they can take this 2v1. They need this round desperately because you don't want to enter match point on the second half. Yoki is going to get that shot, and it's going to be the first round for Aricat.Aresta, finally getting around here off that Cypher kills from Alyssa. Really, the spray down from the Spectre, you'll see here, they get detected with the dart, they get the kills, but Rosie gonna get a double kill of her own, and Aphrodite is not able to complete that 1v3 clutch.
I just really noticed that was the first time that they did push towards a site wherein the Cypher was the one guarding it. So all of the traps were very utilized, even though they have the dash and they have all of the satchels coming in. I mean, that was just a beautiful spray down there, and that was the impact kills of Alyssa in terms of being that sentinel for the team. But right now, the rounds have been swapped. The team of Aricat.Aresta are the ones attacking. But right now, in terms of how the team of Renatus White are positioned, it seems that they really do want to control A. They want to get control of the map. and this is where they have been successful during the attack. So if they do this during the defending side, this is gonna be scary for the team of Aricat.Aresta.
Yo, Envious is pushing A long again, but from the opposite side. Like, she's just doing this every single round. That's her town, basically. That's her corridor. No one dares to challenge her there. They look at the difference in philosophies of attack here. Aricat.Aresta are going through the garage. Instead, two of them already get taken down, and it's now down to a 3v4. It's still looking pretty dicey for them, but they will be able to get the spike down. Noxy is gonna get taken down. Rosie cannot get a spike down. She got stopped by the two people pushing from garage, and it looks like Renatus White are gonna secure match point for themselves. 12-1 right now off of this pistol round, and Aricat.Aresta, they're on the back foot. They lost a pistol round, and they're against match point.
Yeah, they couldn't even get the plant down because everywhere that they go, people from Renatus White would be chasing them down. They didn't even respect the plant of the team of Aricat.Aresta. And that's maybe a good thing because, okay, that was one thing that they had to do to secure this match point already. But right now, they are going to force these buys for Aricat.Aresta. Yoki is going to be on that frenzy, but is this gonna be enough? Yoki's gonna pattern her push just like Envious did, but that's going to be Kohaibi's paint shells. Oh my gosh, that was just beautiful. The combo of those paint shells and that gravity well just got them that kill. So right now, in terms of this defense, there's going to be at least this crossfire, but that's gonna be shut down here by Rudy's. Mochi gets a kill of her own, but that's going to be K4Didi spotting out Alyssa. So they're going to be just dancing around this part of the B map, but it's going to be K4Didi getting this kill, and it's going to be already match point now. Will they be able to secure this win? Rosie gets a kill against Envious, makes it a 2v1, but she still has a paranoia, so she uses it, peeks down. Too bad K4Didi wasn't blinded, but Kohaibi is gonna be there for that stop of a plant to secure that win. Wow. That was just such a dominating play there by Renatus White. There's nothing that Aresta could do at the moment to try and stop anything, any aggression by the team of RTS.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shellacking. Like, we expected this to go through a 3-game series, but honestly, the A Celeste series looked like to be the most competitive one at this point in time. Let's see, coming into the second map, if Aricat.Aresta can take it back. After all, Icebox is their map pick, and let's see if they can turn things around, because 13-1, that's what really dominated this first map.
Yeah, that was such a dominating play for RTS, although that was RTS's map pick. But going into the next map, we're going to be seeing a map that's picked by Aricat.Aresta. So just to give us some thoughts on the plays and everything that happened for map number 1, I would just have to take... well, before anything else, we'd like to just take a short break and then get into the analysis.
Renatus White leaving Aricat.Aresta black and blue in that one. An absolute slobber knocker of a game, but mostly in favor, of, well, not Aricat.Aresta, unfortunately. They definitely did get absolutely beaten, and their butts handed to them, unfortunately. There's no really pretty way of putting it, but to break it down, at the very least, is going to be me, Estrado, alongside Jaeger and Key. Now, let's go ahead and start breaking it down. What exactly went down in that game, aside from them getting absolutely destroyed? Key, I'm going to pass it off to you. I'm going to start it off with you on this. What exactly went down there, especially as we look at the stats?
Yeah, it just seems like they had no answers to the opening duels from Renatus White. They started on the attacking side because it's their map pick, and all of the teams are more comfortable starting on the defensive side. And to Renatus White, I think they basically played into their hands, and Renatus White loved to start on attack. Envious pushing A long every single round, not getting punished for it, getting an opening frag. Kohaibi also getting opening frags of her own, and they just couldn't stop them. I think that Aricat.Aresta were getting too overwhelmed to think about a strategy that could win them around or to go for the punishes.
Oh yeah, let's take a look at the quick numbers. 3.5 KDA for MochiX, 4.0 on K4Didi. And Kohaibi had a 3.0 KDA with a 380 combat score with 20 kills. Jaeger, an absolutely amazing blowout. This is what we've been seeing here today from all of these teams. I feel like everybody's just trying to one-up each other in their series today.
Yeah, it does feel that way. We've had so many one-sided games, and after what we saw in that last game, where it went to 39, we were expecting maybe we'll get another close game today.
Nope.
Nah, they said no. They were like, you know what? I think we want to have a couple more scrims. You want to have dinner soon, maybe. Renatus White said, we're hungry. We're gonna finish this off as quickly as we can, no problem. And yeah, in a lot of these fights, like you can see the headshot rate there. Again, the headshot rate tends to go up when the kills are less. So yeah, like it happens again where you just have Angels just not going their way. That's why they've won 12 rounds on frags alone. And how many times we see a push going down in C long? How many times we see a duel happening in mid from the B side, from the A side, or in the C side? It doesn't really matter what side it was on. They weren't winning those fights, and it was really difficult for Aricat. And it's not like they can't aim. They've gotten to this point. They're very good, but I mean, Renatus White, they just seem that much far ahead, that much further ahead, rather.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kahaibi as well, doing her thing.
I think a lot of it has to do with just the maps that we ended up on. We pointed it out on panel a little bit earlier on that, you know, it just doesn't seem like very much a comfortable place to be here. The best maps for Aricat.Aresta were already taken out of the picture, and they were left with this, and they're clearly showing that they're not very comfortable with what we were left over. Key, going into the next map, which is also a very big one, you know, we are going to be seeing the big maps here in Valorant. How do you think it's going to be changing things up?
I just feel like right now Renatus White are just look stronger. I don't know if Aricat.Aresta have it in them right now because we didn't see that much of their attacking side on Haven because it was just so one-sided. So I can't really say if them starting an attack is actually good. It really depends on whether they can execute onto these sites because it's not very easy to get into a site on Icebox. Renatus White, they're going to be comfortable on defense, and we've seen them pick Icebox quite often. Even in the previous iteration of Renatus White, this was a comfort map for them, and I think that the maps that were banned in the pool actually just going to be favoring Renatus White right now, and I think that they're going to take this 2-0.
Yeah, Icebox is definitely looking like one of the maps that if you're feeling hot on your aim on, you can definitely start to steamroll. But at the same time, not just here in Game Changers, but all across Southeast Asia and, you know, maybe the entirety of Asia in general, as we saw from LCQs, that Icebox is a very swingy kind of map. Like you can go
equalizer.
10 and yeah, it is. And it's a very like, you can go 12-1 and then somehow still lose that map. So Jaeger, you think that this is maybe one of those maps where we can see like crazy upsets or maybe something will happen and take us to a game number 3?
If it wasn't Aricat.Aresta, because this is not one of their best maps. They've lost 4 times on this map and they've played it 5 times, so that's not a great stat to have. And after that loss as well, it's a big deficit. So you're going into that demoralized with a bad track record, and it's not looking too hot. Renatus White, they're going to be on a moral high. They're going to be feeling all of the buffs they need and all the concentration they need to finish this off. So, we saw a 13-0 earlier today. I'm not saying that's going to happen now, but I think it's going to be another dominant game.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. I think you hit the nail on the head right there. Being in a map that you're not too comfortable in and, you know, coming off the loss, it's definitely going to be a difficult mental reset. But this is where we really start to test the tenacity, test the mental fortitude of teams and see whether they can actually go the extra mile and go the distance. Key, I know you said it was already going to be a 2-0, but there must be a saving grace somewhere here for Aricat.Aresta. I don't know if I've thought about it already, but I'm going to ask you on your take on this. What is the one thing maybe that they can do to come out of this with a dub?
I think that just getting the trades, punishing the duelists from Renatus White's side, I think that's really the key to stopping them because they got their way every single time on Haven. And I think that being able to slow those duelists down, Kohaibi and Envious in particular, once you slow them down, Renatus White, you can start seeing breaks in their defense or in their firepower. That's actually what you need. They need to trade, and I think that's what's severely lacking in Haven.
Yeah, I think especially because of the nature of the map, maybe those trades were a little bit more hard fought and a little bit more difficult to find, especially because of how, the sheer breadth of the map would not really allow for that. So maybe cleaner crossfires and definitely maybe a composition that would help them get into advanced positions. One of the things that we pointed out in the first game was the double initiator composition that Renatus White did bring out, and they were very much successful on it, finding map control time and time again. You pointed out earlier how many times did they get to push an A and just hold that for like forever? And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they were able to get that map control off the double initiator. Jace, coming into this one, in terms of the agents, maybe they will have to pick out something. Maybe go for more aggressive plays here for Aricat.Aresta. Maybe that double initiator would help them as well. That, you know, maybe a Sova Sky combination could help them get into sites better.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, having those flashes available to them and having a lot more information when you enter the sites, maybe that gives you that edge because they were losing a lot of those aim duels. So give yourself every advantage you can get. Sure, that works out. But in the end, it really is, when it comes down to the execution, I think that Renatus know how to make space for themselves. Even if they get all the information, they get the flashes going, they can maybe isolate fights with the smokes, they still have to win those fights. So really, it comes down to a little bit more prep, I think, beforehand, not just jumping into this trying to reflect on the first game. But we saw a surprising game earlier, the 13-9 between Celeste and TC, so maybe we see that again here.
Yeah, well, let's take a look. We're going to go into Agent Select and see if we see any of those picks that we were hoping for, but doesn't look like we're getting the double initiator on the Aresta side here. It's only going to be the one of the double duelist. So, honestly, not the most meta of picks right now. I mean, it's still very much viable, especially that Reyna anchoring onto that A site. Oh, they picked so quick, we didn't get to really see the rest of it, but we will break it down in just a second. So, right before we get into the game, I'm going to say, Jace, you think it's going to be a 2-0?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Okay, well, that's going to be it for us for now on the analyst desk. We've broken it down as much as we can, but now we're going to pass it off to our amazing caster. So all up to you guys. Take it away.
All right, coming into the second game, whether it's a confidence breaker or maybe a confidence reset for Aricat.Aresta, we'll have to see because they went 1-13 on the first map. And let Icebox, the great equalizer, let's see if they can actually take this back and bring things to a game 3. Right now, I don't know if I can convincingly say that Aricat.Aresta can make this comeback. What do you feel, Donut?
Well, this is their map pick. So Aricat.Aresta, they have all the means to do so. They have chosen this map for a reason, and that reason we'll be seeing in a short while. But yes, in terms of their picks, I would have to agree with what the desk mentioned, that their double initiator setup wasn't necessarily used to and maximized basically. So I think right now for the map of Icebox, as you mentioned, this is going to be the equalizer, and right now in terms of the picks, it's going to be now that double duelist setup now for Aricat.Aresta, and maybe they work well and they work better given this comp as compared to, of course, almost a similar matchup. It's just that the team of RTS, they don't have a Sage, but the team of Aricat.Aresta, they're starting off at the attacking side with the Sage, and that's going to be helpful in terms of maybe getting those heals and getting those rests online.
Yeah, also getting the wall into the B side, which is particularly important in
Going to
this
be a
round.
push here now by Noxy towards this. That was a fast take here towards Kitchen. That's going to be a shutdown here by Mochix. The killjoy of the team of RTS. But right now, there's going to be a very, very fast plant here towards the B site, and that's gonna be a shutdown now by the team of Aricat.Aresta. I think they did have that reset already, Key, and that's going to be what? Legit Queen and as well as Kohaibi, the two people remaining for the team of RTS, and they make this happen. But that's gonna be Yoki getting a shutdown towards Kohaibi and Rosie. This might be the stance that we're looking for Aricat.Aresta.
I mean, when you see the score right now, they have won as many rounds as they did in the previous match, so it's trending pretty well for Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty good. That fast take towards Kitchen and towards the under of the tube, that was beautiful in terms of the coordination. Maybe they've practiced Icebox quite a few times already, and that's the reason why they picked this map. But right now, in terms of this defense, they're heavily guarding A, the team of Renatus White, but Aricat is nowhere near that psyche.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that their confidence wasn't really shaken off their first map. They're able to shake it off, be able to take that decisive B push. And right now it's another decisive push onto the B side, being able to get that spike down. And with superior weaponry, I don't see Renatus White taking this round back. They only have classics, frenzies. There's no sheriffs here. We've seen some nutty sheriff shots today, but you know, Noxy with that Marshall gets the first kill on the Legit Queen. They just can't fight at range with these guns. They're gonna have to move forward, but that's gonna be really difficult. Noxy is gonna miss that shot. However, the rest of Renatus are trying to go in. Alyssa with the headshot onto Envious. Yoki gets a kill. Aphrodite takes Yoki down though, but it's gonna be Aricat.Aresta's round. And already a 2-0 start for Aricat.Aresta. Can this really be the great equalizer?
Yeah, it could be. That was almost a flawless round for the team of Aricat.Aresta. Them trying to get on those attacks with such a rush, getting B site control easily with that, of course, that drone. Of course, there was nobody there to guard the site, but right now, in terms of the weapons that the team of RTS has, they have everything that they need to try and stop this push. But it seems like it's gonna be take 2 of round number 1 because it's going to be a mid push right now. They've had success with these mid pushes, but right now it's just gonna be Mochi trying to stop them. But it's gonna be a whiff shot. Yoki gets that kill. Where do you aim if you see 2 people coming at you? But right now, that's going to be what? A successful spike plant yet again for the team of Aricat.Aresta. And Noxy gets that kill and Envious trades her out. And the team of Aricat, they have these good positions and they know well when and where they should be peaking. The triple setup here towards Kitchen, that won't necessarily be expected here by the team of RTS. Ivy, she has this inkling that the jet is there. She spots out the head, but she misses the shot. Right now, there's just going to be a dance between Noxy. That's going to be a successful kill here. It's going to be just
They're
Noxy.
gonna have to defuse.
Oh, and they're going to get the defuse. Unfortunate.
No, they don't have the time.
Oh no, they don't have the time. Oh no, that was a good effort. That was a 3-0, and that was a win. That was well done by Aricat because that was a bonus round. They still have guns moving forward in the 4th round.
Yeah, not to mention that they actually took down 4 members off of Renatus Whites. They only keep 1 gun from their buy round, and Aricat.Aresta are off to a good start here. They just took too long to group up here. I think Ohaibi was waiting for teammates to come in, was not able to take Noxy down, and it's starting to look really good for Aricat.Aresta right now.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, that was such a good round for them. Given that they're attacking first, I think this is what they really want to do. It was just quite unfortunate that Haven, they were the ones defending first, but right now they have the rhythm, and they're just out for the dance. And Legit Queen, she's the only one here defending the site, but given that, they just back away. They go towards that A site. And right now, it's just going to be Envious. She hears that leer from Reina, but that's going to be Rosie. Again, with that jump kill towards Envious. Beautiful movement from her. But right now, this is going to be the A site completely open for their taking. But that's just going to be what Kohaibi here with that Marshall tried to slow things down.
Yeah, Aphrodite still has a Vandal though, so maybe with that Vandal, she can get a few kills. Kohaibi, let's see if she can get an opening frag here with the Marshall. No, she gets taken out right away. Noxy with the Operator takes Aphrodite down. 5v2 right now. And Legit Queen picks up the Vandal, trying to get something done here. But she gets taken down by Alyssa. Mochi X with a headshot from the Sheriff. Not gonna whiff this time, but she's gonna get taken down by Rosie, who swings out with that Phantom. And Aricat.Aresta are off to a blazing hot 4-0 start.
Yeah, I mean, is this deja vu, but the total opposite of the teams getting the wins. I mean, we saw this in the map of Haven RTS getting the first few rounds, making it very dominating. But right now, Aricat.Aresta, they're getting the revenge. I mean, how they would push towards the site, very coordinated and very well timed. And this was what their gap in the map of Haven. But right now, they're making it work, and it is starting to look a little bit scary for Renatus White, not unless they do get this buy round.
Yeah, they're actually committing a lot on this buy round. There's 3 on the A site, Envious with the Operator as well. It's actually going to be a B push, however. Let's see if Renatus White can finally get a stop here. They have the guns, they have the position, 3 onto B, and they're reading the situation quite well. They're already rotating, but the spike is going to go down. The Viper's Pit is going to be committed as well. And it looks like on the side of Aricat.Aresta, they're happy with this. The Viper's Pit is there, discouraging any push. and they're already watching the flanks. So Yoki might be able to get a kill here onto Kfredite if she's not ready, but Kfredite is good for the kill. Yoki actually does not finish her off. 30 HP remaining left on Kfredite, but this is a good start for them. Op shot misses for both sides. Rosie is going to take out Envious though. Legit Queen and Kfredite getting a kill apiece. That Hunter's Fury putting in the work. Rosie in her pit though takes down Legit Queen. As all down to Rosie. She's the only one left, but it is in her zone. It is in her domain. She finishes off Kfredite. She gets taken on by Kohibi. Does Kohibi have enough time? Not enough time! And Aricat.Aresta yet again escape with another round 5-0 right now against Renatus White.
We're seeing a similar situation as we did in round number 2, round number 3. They were able to get the kills, but they weren't able to get that defuse because time isn't really in their favor. A great delay here by Rosie, just her hiding in that pit. She was just really a turtle. She was just staying in the middle of everything else, just making sure that there won't be a defuse here for RTS, and that was just such a wonderful play here now. And even the team of Aricat.Aresta, they're collecting the orbs from the kills that they're getting, and now Alyssa, she has the revive and also the Empress available for Yoki.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's just like round 3. They were just a little bit too slow, a little bit too indecisive, couldn't find the last person, and basically it's too late by the time they get onto the spike. I think Renatus White need to play a little bit faster, maybe a little bit sharper. There's the Blade Storm, Envious, there's the sharpness that we need, a knife to the head of Rudy's. The spike is going to go down onto the B side. Actually, a really strange plant spot here, all the way at the back towards Snowman, and I think that they want to defend this. Kohibi gets one, gets two, but gets taken down by Rosie. Starting to look good for Renatus White right now on this thrifty round, and it looks like Rosie is gonna get taken down by yet another knife, and Renatus White finally get around on the board. 5-1 right now.
Wow, this is the start of the comeback that we're seeing now for Renatus White. Although Aricat.Aresta did get 5 rounds straight, this may be the momentum and the start of RTS getting the rounds back in their favor. But right now, I mean, it's looking quite scary because an operator has been picked up here by Envious, and she's been well with this operator. I mean, we've seen her, she did miss a couple of shots in Haven, but right now this may be her playground using that operator. So, and there are about 2 people trying to go towards that B garage, but she doesn't see anybody just yet because the rest of the members, they're just playing the default strat. Because the team of Aricat.Aresta, they've been rushing, and I feel like the team of RTS, they're ready for any type of rush.
Yeah, that Yahoo Thrifty was actually really good because they got that operator, they got the rifles, they had 4 members left alive, and they're starting to look, well, alive yet again. There's the first kill from Renatus White. Kohibi gets dinked a little bit, but there's the res coming from Melissa. You mentioned the previous round that she had the res up, and they are going to even up the numbers yet again. But it looks like Aricat.Aresta are playing a little bit scared now. There's none of that speed that we saw from before, and MochiX gets the headshot onto Yoki. They're starting to look for answers here, and they're finding them. But Noxy is going to take Kohibi down, who is a little bit overzealous on the repush. But there's the operator from Envious. Might be able to take Noxy down here. Jiggle peeks, gets the kill onto Noxy, dashes back to safety. Starting to look really good for Renatus White right now. This operator is proving to be a threat. And right now, Aricat.Aresta, they don't have that much map control. There's one member all the way onto A, but Rosie says, who needs map control when you can get a headshot? Takes Envious down with no chance for a shot. They're gonna go plan for B. There's the wall gonna be used. That's gonna be a 3v2 right now. There's gonna be a flank, however, on the side of Aricat.Aresta. Rudy's is already creeping her way onto mid. If she finds these kills on time, she might be able to do something, but Mochi X turns around, quickly takes her down. She does not hit those shots. Rudy's is not having a good game right now. 0 kills on her, I believe, and that lockdown is going to push the rest of Aricat.Aresta out. It's going to be a defuse, going to be committed, fully committed in fact. Legit Queen is going to get the defuse, and Renatus White are going to seal this round away yet again. They reset Aricat.Aresta's economy as well, so they're not going to be able to buy in full this round.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful shot here by Envious. But again, Rosie's shutdown of that operator, as you mentioned, who necessarily needs map control, right? When in fact we do have the powerful weapons. But that was a successful plan for the team of Aricat.Aresta. But the retakes of Renatus White, they are very favorable with how they did communicate. As they mentioned that a little bit of the communication is their gap. But right now, they're looking like a solid team. How they would retake those situations, it was supposedly what in the favor already of Aricat.Aresta, but they managed to turn things around.
Yeah, they're trying the kitchen strat yet again. I think it's a good choice, especially since Envious is watching that B long with the operator. Mochi X is gonna get collapsed on pretty soon. She has the support of her teammates. Kohaibi is here. Tries to get the shots down, but Yoki is gonna get a headshot onto Mochi X with that Sheriff. Heals up a little bit. This is an eco round for Aricat.Aresta, so let's see if they can actually get more kills here. K4Didi takes one down. Rosie with a headshot off her own takes the operator down. That's Envious getting taken down by a Sheriff onto yellow. That operator is gonna go onto her hands as well. It's gonna be a difficult retake as Rosie with that operator takes K4Didi down. Legit Queen and Kohaibi even things out though with a headshot apiece. And now it's down to a 2v2. They do have the guns on the side of Aricat.Aresta that they picked up. Vandal and Operator in their hands. Let's see what they can do. Here's the toxic screen coming down. That's going to discourage this Operator a little bit, make it a bit harder to get those shots out. Rosie switches to the Sheriff, and let's see if her Sheriff can do this. She's just waiting for someone to defuse, and there's a defuse sound. There's going to be a swing. Rosie gets Legit Queen, however, I think they got the half. No half. Kohaibi has to commit this already to the half. No. Yoki tries to spray through. She's holding it. Rose. Well, fake sometimes, but Kohaibi is going to take Yoki down, and they finally get the round. 0.67 seconds remaining. Renatus White get a third round on the board.
Yeah, pros don't fake, but we also get the defuse, right? That was just a good position there by Kohaibi here. She just really wanted to wait because she knows where Yoki was in that situation, and she was so far away. It was really planted for Yoki at the moment. So, okay, we know that she's far away. I'll get this defuse, maybe get it to half, and once she peeks, I'll be ready for that because she had her crosshair at the right place. That was just really perfect. A comeback now for Renatus White. They're getting these kills, and Kohaibi, even though Noxie was just as high, she was higher with that kill, and now there's going to be trades yet again. Alyssa kills Envious in that situation, but they're down to 3 members remaining. They do have the kill available, maybe if somebody gets tagged up, but the rest of the members, they're out here towards A, but that's going to be Kohaibi, and as well as Legit Queen guarding this site.
Yeah, this is exactly what we expect from Renatus White. The aggression, the push from both duelists, Envious and Kohaibi. Getting that 2-for-1 is really important because right now, look at Aricat.Aresta. They're playing scared. They're just not pushing forward anymore. It's the aggression that we saw in the first 5 rounds. We're not seeing that anymore. After Renatus White won these few clutch rounds, Aricat.Aresta are shaken. And right now, they just can't get an inch anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's going to be inch by inch and bit by bit in terms of this attack, but right now the rotations have come in. The good thing about this defense is that's going to be at least RTS Mochi being the one who's guarding the B site. So, okay, that's going to be information for K4Didi, at least that they're going in this B site. At least there's going to be that slowdown here by that swarm grenade, but Mochi, she doesn't slow down at all. That's going to be what? Kills here for RTS. Okay, we may have given you 5 rounds, but what? We're going to get this comeback.
Yeah, and it's starting to look really good for Renatus White. This is the cleanest round that they've had also so far. 4 members alive. I mean, besides the Thrifty, where they actually upgraded 4 guns. K4Didi pushing out as well, really stopping that late rotate. And Mochi X getting the last member alive here, Yoki. Of course, gets taken down 1v4. Not much for her to do there. Gets taken down from the back. And right now, as we look at Renatus White, they're still building up their economy. They've been damaged a little bit, but it's looking pretty good for them. They still have the operator, and on the side of Aricat.Aresta, Noxie can't even buy a gun.
Yeah, I mean, they are able to buy at least these rifles, and Noxie actually just prefers to to just equip the Blade Storm instead, because that's gonna be very helpful for them at least. But okay, that's gonna be the Recon Bolt covered by that Cloud Burst, so that denies them any information right now. So Aphrodite hungers for that info, but she doesn't really spot anybody just yet, because the rest of the members are hiding out towards mid. And what? There's gonna be the spike at least here, creeping their way towards the A site. But right now, ooh, that's gonna be Kuhaibi spotting out Alyssa and Rosie trading it out. So at least the members here of RTS, they know that somebody is gonna come from mid, and Legit Queen, will she be ready with this? She is at least gonna get down Legit Queen. But is that gonna be enough though? I mean, in terms of this retake, this is going to be a 3v3, and Rosie chooses to use the Viper Spit early on to try and control this. But Aphrodite, she hears the footsteps. There's going to be the flank, and Aphrodite shuts down Rudis. But there's going to be the hunt here by Yoki. She knows that Aphrodite is here towards Belt, but is she gonna get there in time to get that kill? And that's gonna be one. Oh no, the Hunter's Fury one. And now that's gonna be kills for Yoki and Rosie. That's just going to be Envious remaining, and that's gonna hurt. The snake bite hurts. And now she's down to 1 because of that decay. So she needs to get this kill, but Yoki finishes things off with that kill, a 6-4 now for Aricat.Aresta. After 4 rounds, they finally get a score.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need, right? They need to stop the bleeding. They finally get around after dropping 4 in a row. And they're at least going to second half with 6 rounds, at least even, if not ahead. And that's great for Aricat.Aresta. I think the smartest thing here that I wanted to point out was the cloud. It was Noxie that was looking at the recon bolt. She could have shot it out, but instead she chose to use the cloud burst. And using the cloud burst can give false information to Renatus White, because you still see the recon bolt pulsing and it doesn't give you any pings. Then it makes you think maybe there's no one at mid. And because of that, they were able to take mid control. If she just shot the bolt out, they would defend mid a little bit more and not have let that happen.
Yeah, and that was smart of them, because they really wanted to secure mid control. But right now, this is going to be an A hit, but there are 3 people here. Well, Yoki has managed to get past Legit Queen already, so her crosshair is just really aiming here towards this mid part where
They
the
saw each
orb
other.
is. But right now, they saw each other. That's going to be Yoki getting that kill, but Aphrodite up for that save. Makes it a 3v4, and the team of Aricat.Aresta, they're going towards this A site yet again. They need to be able to maybe secure a kill for Alyssa right here, so that she can rest somebody else. And yes, that's it. The resurrection online for them right now, and they need bodies. They need the power, woman power right now. But Aphrodite just shuts down Rudis at the moment. This is gonna be a duel here by Aphrodite, but that's gonna be the rest coming in for Aricat.Aresta. Alyssa doing all of the work, getting these kills, but that's gonna be what? Shut down. Will there be a slowdown here by Aphrodite? She does have that shock dart, but no, that's not it. Alyssa gets all of the heads. She gets 3 already for this round, but this is gonna be a dance, and she spots out Aphrodite, and that was a nano leaf clutch by Alyssa.
Round in the half.
She really played that round to perfection. From the res and getting all those kills, especially at the rafters. I think we'll see it shortly here. Okay, she gets a kill here. She gets a kill onto Mochi X as well. Gets the wall up, gets the plant down too. And Aphrodite just, I think that Aphrodite, especially after she gets a kill, she actually looks away really quickly instead of just watching to see if someone trades. It looks like she's missed so many people. She missed Yoki as well in the previous round at Belt, because she looked away at the exact second after her kills, because she's maybe expecting someone to trade. I'm not sure, but I think she looks away a bit too fast.
Yeah, that was just really timing for her, because they really want to figure out where Alyssa is. But, I mean, Alyssa has woken up from that deep sleep, as we saw earlier in Haven. And right now, with that round, she was really doing all of the work. She was able to secure the orb. She was able to get the plant down. She got all of the kills. And I think the rest of the team of Aricat.Aresta, they need to be able to wake up as well to get this win that they need. Because I mean, the map of Haven was such a slow start for them, but right now they have awoken, and it's gonna be another A hit for them. Noxie is leading the charge here towards A, but they don't really know that Legit Queen is here. Good thing there's that Lear, but now Noxie gets at least the entry and the second frag. She is going to get a win. Yoki does get a kill of her own, and it's gonna be just Mochi here, hiding behind that smoke. Is she gonna spot out the head of Yoki? She does jiggle a little bit, but there's nobody there to re-peek towards her. And right now, this is gonna be what? A kind of a slow push here, but Envious does get attacked, but little did she know it was also Noxie behind her. And Mochi's here. She needs to get this to a clutch. She does have that lockdown available, and the lockdown is wasted because Rudy's. She does get that kill from behind, and now it's such a favorable scoreline for Aricat.Aresta, 8-4.
Yeah, great play by them. Actually, all this heal usage, allowing Noxie to go in, and the rest of the team to control the site is really important. And it's something that we didn't see in Haven because they really only had 2 rounds on the attacking side. And now we're actually seeing a different Aricat.Aresta, right? We saw how coordinated they could be on attack. In fact, in Haven, I actually thought that their lineup was actually geared for the attacking side because of the Sova plus Sky combination. And it didn't work out for them because they just lost too many rounds on the defending side. But let's see if Renatus White can take this back, because now Renatus White are on the attacking side and Aricat.Aresta will be on defense.
In terms of this defense, though, I mean, equipping a Sheriff as early as this round, you need to be able to secure these kills, but it's gonna be GoHiBi getting those first few kills as well, and there's gonna be Yoki here with that cheeky angle. Is she able to get another one, though? That's gonna be Rosie with a second. But right now, it's K4Dity doing the work as well for the team. It's a 3v2 at the moment. Legit Queen is here with K4Dity. They're just slowing things down because there's a call now for a rotate towards an A site, and I don't think that this will be something that they need to do because, I mean, they can double back.
Yep.
I think they're gonna fake this out.
Probably yeah, it is definitely the fake. They take the orb, they walk back, they kind of drop the spike, and then they're just gonna wait a little bit, see if someone is overzealous in pushing forward or if they can rotate. But great call here from Aricat.Aresta. They stand their ground instead. They don't move too far away from the B side.
Right now, it's gonna be just timing here for K4Dity securing that kill. And right now, that recon ball is gonna spot out at least one member here. But that's Rudy's recon ball as well to try and figure out where they currently are, because this is a big wall of distraction for RTS right now. And in terms of this post-plant situation, there's going to be this snake bite kill. But K4Dity just really has that top level game sense. Getting that kill through that smoke by Rudy's is gonna be there for the shutdown. I mean, it's just gonna be Legit Queen here as that Viper, but Rudy's just pushes her. She doesn't necessarily care, and that's gonna be what? A defuse now, a 9-4. Not necessarily what we expected, but a good round for Aricat.Aresta.
Definitely not what we expected, and that was an Nanolief clutch by Rudy's. Unexpectedly double dinks K4Dity by Yellow and then finishes off Legit Queen. Look at this double dink, and then just 2 straight headshots. Finishes off Legit Queen with yet another headshot with just a classic, and winning the pistol round for Aricat.Aresta. This is particularly important because they're already 4 rounds ahead. Winning the pistol round almost guarantees you the second round, but you know, you can't count Renatus White out. They're even in the pistol rounds, they can be quite deadly, and they did get the 300 extra creds from the spike plant.
Yeah, and this is gonna be with a 5-woman rush all towards this A site, but Noxie again with that Marshall, beautiful work in terms of really getting that kill on towards Envious. And right now, I mean, there's gonna be that jiggle and that response from Yoki. At least Mochi trades it out, but Noxie is just holding this angle, and right now it's gonna be K4Dity getting those kills, and that's just up to her right now. She's 47 HP. She does have a frenzy, but not enough firepower to counter the Marshall, the Spectres of Aricat.Aresta. So she then backs up towards that B site. Just need to secure this orb. I mean, a little bit of a consolation for this one. Again, that was just a round because round 4 Aricat.Aresta, because they didn't necessarily have the weapons that they needed to get that win, to get those entries. But Kfredite, she doesn't yet secure this plant.
Yeah, I think
she's doing something cheeky.
She's overthinking. I think that on the side of Aricat.Aresta, the reason why 3 of them stay on one site
30 seconds
when
left.
it's a 1v3 instead of trying to guess and split people between A and B is that you keep 3 members on one side so that you can confirm whether the plant is there or not. And if the plant does go down on the opposite side, it's going to be a 3v1 retake. And Noxy is going to take Kfredite down. Unfortunately for her, I think she overthanked too much. And basically, I think getting the spike down would have been way more important, and being able to get that ultimate up plus the 300 creds for the rest of your team would have been the best option there. But she didn't have any information, and I think that was pretty much the best gamble that she could think of at that point.
Yeah, I mean, the silence really gets to your nerves, right? Because nobody else was there in that B site, so she knows maybe they're lingering around her. But then she does decide on just getting to that A site because, okay, they may be flanking. Because they, of course, the team of RTS, they would know their opponents better. So that was just, what, a risk play, but no reward for that high-risk play. Specifically for Kfredite, but right now, in terms of this push, now they all decide to go towards A, and I think the team of Aricat.Aresta, they're just giving it away because they're just so far away from the site.
We've seen huge comebacks on Icebox though, so let's not forget that. Like, I believe there was 100 Thieves that won 11 rounds in a row on Icebox, so this is still doable for Renatus White. It's 4-10, it's not that far behind. Envious gonna get one, but doesn't check the other side of that wall. Rudy's comes out guns blazing with that Spectre, changes to the Vandal right now, but Renatus White looking pretty good right now. They take Noxy down as well. They have the spike down. Kohibi heals up a little bit, takes Rudy's down, heals back up. Rosie is the last one alive, and Mochi is gonna take her down as well. And Renatus White with this gun round try to bring things around.
Yeah, you mentioned that's not impossible, especially for a team like Renatus White. They may be able to lose the rounds, but will they let Aricat.Aresta, mow them down in terms of this scoreline? The first round, after what, very, very dominating rounds for Aricat.Aresta, they may respond now since they do have all of the weapons that they need in terms of this push, and Envious has that pistol. I think they're gonna farm for orbs right now for her, or maybe, oh, she just picked up a Vandal at least to get that entry just right for the team. And it's gonna be what, a default play for the team of RTS. Yoki spots out the head of Legit Queen, and that was just wonderful work for her, getting that opening kill against no more Viper for the team of RTS.
Yeah, you really need those smokes to get into, especially the B side. A, maybe, but it's just going to be more difficult for Renatus White because now a 4v5, Yoki even gets topped up from the heal from Alyssa. And I just really like to point out that the kills in this game are actually almost even. It was even just now until Legit Queen was taken down. Kfredite takes Noxy down, does not expect a second one. Rudy's just swings out of there, trades for Kfredite. 3v4 right now for Renatus White, but they do get the spike down and they're a little bit healthier.
Yeah, so much healthier than Aricat.Aresta, but Kohibi again gets that kill. But it's gonna be Rosie spotting out too, and that's just up to Kohibi now in this clutch situation. She has that Empress up and running, but she gets that headshot. Now spots out Yoki. They're gonna dance around this pillar. So right now, who is gonna win this one? Who's the better Reina for this
no,
round?
she's sticking it.
It's just gonna be Yoki just sticking out. I mean, you may be the better Reina, but I'm maybe the smarter one for this specific round, and that's gonna be Kohibi at least getting the revenge. And it's 11-5, 2 points away for that win, a point away from match point.
Yeah, that was well played by Kohibi, but she didn't bite on the fake that half defuse. Great and quick thinking by Yoki there to steal this round away, just going for the defuse. That last half of it just really makes it hurt for Renatus White, but you know, for Renatus White, this is where they can actually start bringing things back. I think that they still have enough for 5 rifles here. On the side of Aricat.Aresta, their economy is still pretty shot. So if they win this next round, they reset Aricat.Aresta yet again. So this is really where they should be playing for that. Yoki gets damaged a little bit, trades with Envious. There's damage done for both. They don't have the Sage on Renatus White though, but Yoki can get topped up by Alyssa.
And now it's gonna be a run towards this A site because Rudy's here. It's just the lone person defending this, but she's gonna back away because she has that Hunter's Fury available for her to try and stop that plant. But right now it's gonna be Envious here securing that space for them that they need, and that's gonna be the Hunter's Fury tagging up Legit Queen but not getting a kill that they need. But right now it's gonna be Yoki with that Empress, and as well as kills now for Aricat.Aresta, and it's now down to Envious. She does get 2, but Rudy's there with that Guardian, gets that kill in what? It's match point now for Aricat.Aresta and RTS. It's not really the comeback we were expecting, Key, but this is such great work for ARC.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to go to game 3 at this point, unless Renatus White still have something to say about it, because they're going to have to force this round, right? It's match point at this point, and they can try to still buy a few guns. I see a Vandal, a Guardian, a Bulldog, so it's not really a very good buy. Envious is just going to stick with the Blade Storm, going to buy that Vandal for Kohibi. Great choice here, and Envious is just going to be 0 armor Blade Storming into the site. They're trying to play fast right now, but she eats a bolt from the Owl Drone. Gonna reveal where her position is, and the rest of Aricat.Aresta are starting to rotate. There's a lockdown being committed. K4Didi takes Noxy down with that Guardian. Yoki is gonna take her down though, so that's gonna be the revenge kill with a headshot from the Vandal. Trying to get into the side right now. The lockdown is chasing them out. Envious is pushing forward with her Blade Storm as well. There's a spike going down 4v4 right now. They still have the means to win this round on Renatus White, but Alyssa takes one down. Envious is going to use the blades to take her down. 3v3 right now. There's going to be no rest from Alyssa. She was very close to it, but the last 2 defenders, or rather 2 defenders are pushing from the attacker spawn. Let's see, Mochi X can actually hold them down here. Has to move away. They're trying to go for the spike right now. Rudy takes Mochi X down. Legit Queen gets taken down as well. Envious is gonna get taken down, and Aricat.Aresta. Icebox truly is the great equalizer here.
Yeah, you mentioned it in the desk that this is going to be an equalizer, and it is, cause we didn't really expect it that Aricat.Aresta will win their own map pick. Well, some people in the desk did say it 2-0, but I really wanted to root for Aricat.Aresta because they really picked this map for a reason. They were very well coordinated. What else can you say about this key?
Well, they came in here with a 20% win rate in the Icebox. This really boosts their win rate, I'd say. But they played really well. They were ready for that attacking side, and I think this is the first series today that's not 2-0.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the first 3 series that we saw is all a 2-0, and right now, Aricat.Aresta, they're saying, no, we have a fight in us. And that's what they did. They took revenge from such a dominating play that Renatus White did give us in the map of Haven, and let's really say that maybe Aricat.Aresta, Icebox is their playground.
Yeah, and we'll have to see whether the last map can actually be turn back to Renatus White's favor. It's going to be Breeze, and the bigger the map, the better Renatus White play at it.
Yeah, and we will go into a short break and ask the panelists what they think about map number 2.
Aricat.Aresta with an awesome comeback on Icebox, proving everybody on panel wrong that they can roll with the punches and hit harder the second time around. Icebox looking like a completely different game from what we saw in Haven, and we're going to be talking about it and breaking it down here on the panel. I'm Estrada, joined by none other than Jaeger and Key. So, Key, let's go ahead and talk about it. Icebox, definitely very much a bright spot for the side of Aricat.Aresta. They look much more comfortable on attacking side. I want to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, it's really just about starting on the attacking side. I think that's something that we didn't see on Haven because they lost too many rounds on the defensive side. And after that, they just lost the pistol round, and they didn't really get to show what their double initiator comp could actually do or what they could actually do on the attacking side. Renatus White were just in control of the tempo the whole time. This time around on Icebox, Aricat.Aresta were the ones in control of the tempo. They really showed what they could do with their aggression, and on their own terms, they look really good.
Yeah, definitely. They were able to set up the pace, play the game to how they wanted it, and a lot of the time catching Renatus White completely off guard. This bodes well coming to the third series because momentum now on their side. But we go into the last map here, and it's going to be Breeze, a completely different one. We're going to be talking about that in just a second here, but we will zone in on a couple of the players from both of these teams as we take a look at the statistics. Rosie, XP, and Kfir yet again being the MVP with 22 kills and a 337 combat score right there, and just a blowout of a performance. Absolutely amazing. How many rounds did she win for her team? Jaeger, thoughts on this player right here?
I mean, yeah, well played from Kfir to stay consistent, always getting a lot of frags and getting into positions where she can perform. But I'm not gonna lie, I mean, they just looked a little bit lost when I was watching that game. Renatus, I saw things that we just didn't see. Like, yeah, they saw on the defender side, and so we don't get to see that strong attacker side start that we got on Haven, where they were setting the pace and whatnot. But we're also seeing aim duels that don't normally get lost. And then on the rounds where they do win the aim duels, they were losing to ninja diffusers and stuff. There was a lot of rounds like that. Yeah, Rosie and Yoki and Noxie as well, all really stepping up. Great average combat scores there coming through as well. But like, they looked a lot more confident. I think they've had that in them all along, right? They can perform as long as they're confident in themselves, and a lot of those timings did go in favor of Aricat as well. But I also have to say that Renatus looked a little duller than they did on the first map as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It doesn't feel like the edge was as honed. It definitely did feel like they weren't hitting the mark, and it felt like they were a lot uncomfortable, and a lot of it had to do with, just the pace just not being theirs completely. It might be a little bit of a different story here as we move on towards game number 3, and this is the first 3-game series that we're going to be seeing here today. Everything else seems to have been like a little bit of a speed run for day number 1, hoping things will be a little bit different in game number 3 here. The first game was a complete stomp, and the second game was also one on the other side, so now it's just sort of trading blows. Key, I want to talk about Breeze. What could we expect? What could be a little bit different here, and what are your expectations coming into this one?
I think for Breeze that it's such a big map, and Renatus White are starting on the defensive side. This will actually test Aricat.Aresta's execution coming to the site. We've already seen them use the Sky in Haven, not to its full potential, but I think that the Sky is going to be very important here, especially if they wish to actually go into the site and safely. So for Breeze, I think that I would give Renatus White the advantage here, because I think that the larger spacing of the map can actually allow them to dictate and to go for the flanks that they're actually used to. That's what they did in Haven, and that's what went really well for them. Icebox, we also saw a little bit of the mid control and a little bit of push. That's what Renatus White are good at, and Breeze will really amplify that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I think Breeze is one of those maps that can really highlight and showcase a lot of players' full potential when it comes to this, the aim duels, the angle selection, and just like overall, awareness, gathering how large the map is. Now, going into this one, we do have a little bit of time here to talk about predictions, so I want to give you guys an opportunity to change maybe what you said a little bit earlier on, especially you, Jaeger, because you did point out it was going to be a 2-0. Are you sticking on it? It's going to be a Renatus White game, or are you going to go with Aricat.Aresta this time?
I'm still thinking it's going to be Renatus. Like, we saw that even on that game where they did lose, there was potential for that comeback, right? If Kahibi wins that 1 versus 4 that she ended up in, then, I mean, she was 1 kill away from getting it, and that could have been the way back into it, because you can build a lot of momentum off of that. But just didn't have the opportunity. I mean, both teams didn't really get the opportunity once they switched sides. But I'm still leaning on Renatus, especially on Breeze, where you've got all these positions where individual skill comes up quite a lot.
Yeah.
And when you have Kahibi, if she's playing mid, or she's playing in halls, or she's playing in B or whatever, there's a lot of fights there that she can win. And the map is so big that you don't get the opportunity for a lot of those cheeky rotates, and the cheeky catch-offs that you were catching,
and the quick refrags.
The yeah, as well, because you've got so much space between you. So yeah, I think that's how it should turn out.
Yeah.
I want to point out as well something.
Go ahead.
In the damage graph just now, Renatus White actually had more damage done against Aricat.Aresta than Aricat.Aresta did. So that really goes to show that the rounds were pretty close. They're getting the frags, they're getting the damage down, but Aricat.Aresta just edged out a little bit on those rounds, really securing the rounds for themselves.
Yeah, a lot of it, I think, came down to the tactical play at the end of it, which goes to show that Aricat.Aresta, if they can use their wits, they don't really have to go for those brawls. And I think a lot of it has to do with, maybe they don't want to go in 1v1 battles with Renatus White. Maybe that's how you lose the round. Maybe that's how you lose the game. But if you can outsmart them and outplay them, which they certainly are capable of, that might be a little bit of a different story here. But Key, I didn't get to hear your prediction on this one. I'm going to bring it to you first. Sticking with Renatus White, or are you going with Aricat.Aresta?
I'm sticking with Renatus White. Just seeing game 2 that they outdamaged Aricat.Aresta, I think they can dial it back, and I think they can take Breeze because they're still hitting the shots. It's just that they're not converting the rounds, and I think that they can do it on Breeze.
Well, I'm going to go with Aricat.Aresta on this one. I definitely think they have the momentum on their side, and a lot of the tactical prowess that you would need to be able to take a map like Breeze. So we'll see and go into it as we get closer and closer to Agent Select. Now, as for the particular agents, I think we should bring up this discussion right now. Anything in particular, Jace, that you might be looking for coming into this one? I know that Aricat.Aresta, they like to run the double duelist, and we might actually see the Yoru here. So let's take a look at it as we go into the Agent Select. Jaeger, your thoughts?
Well, I always love to see a Viper because those smokes they're not going to do anything. You need a wall up. And, well, the Viper is the perfect solution to that. That's why my theory is the next agent we're going to get is going to have to be another waller just like Viper because you've only got the one choice at this point in time. Having that Sky as well, Initiator, you do need those flashes and the information as well that comes in. A Jet, absolutely necessary as well. You need an Operator on this huge map. Right. And actually running the double Initiator once again. So, seems to be being a signature for our days. And a Cypher coming into play as well. That has surprised me just a little bit. I like to see a raise on Breeze because the information you get from a Boombot and that control over towards holes and then those nades do a lot of extra damage. They've got only the shock darts for that extra damage, and there's the Yoru coming on Rosie. Nope, it's just a throw off. Just trying to fool you guys because they do need a controller, and Viper coming through may be exactly what they need. It's a mirror match.
Key, I want to get your quick thoughts on this. Last chance to talk about the Agent Select before we go into the game.
I think that the Cypher is actually an interesting tech, and it's very good against the Jet. I'm just not sure how effective it can be, especially with the map so big. So let's see if the Cypher can actually be effective for both teams here.
Yeah, well, you heard it from us on the panel, but now we're going to pass it off to the desk, excuse me. Again, I'm Lestrada, Jason Key, but we're signing off and leaving it all into the hands of the amazing casters who are going to be delivering all the action. So for one more time here today, take it away.
Welcome back, Donut.
A mirror. Yeah, welcome back to me. A mirror matchup. This is very interesting because there will be a lot of diffs in the first few maps that we've seen. But right now, it's a mirror matchup in the map of Breeze. So really, the question is, as cold as Icebox can be for RTS, will we now see the heat back in their favor? Because, I mean, in terms of your predictions, everybody said it was going to be a 2-0.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Aricat.Aresta did prove us otherwise. And right now in the map of Breeze, this is going to be interesting and different because it's really a big map, as you mentioned. And maybe they can prove to us maybe why they picked the Cypher in terms of the defending side and also the attacking side. Because, I mean, the Cypher, very, very effective in terms of really stopping and controlling that flank. And especially with RTS's play style, they really are favorable in terms of that flank, really wanting to catch Aricat.Aresta off guard. And right now, I mean, Breeze, such a big map. A lot of the teams do not want to play this, but right now, because of Fracture coming into the picture, auto-ban Fracture.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I mean, Breeze typically is banned quite often, but with Fracture coming in, that's the auto-ban for this tournament so far, at least for day number 1. And we'll have to see if that actually changes with the upcoming series. But right now, this is going to be the last game of today. It is the first game number 3 that we have for today. This is the only series that went into the 3rd match, and it's going to be a mirror matchup. So let's see between these two teams who's going to be better in terms of execution, because it's the exact same agent picks, and let's see if this Cypher pick pays off for either side.
Yeah, for either side, this is going to be another A-hit. for the team. But right now, okay, at least we have those toxin screens up and running for the attacking team. Aricat.Aresta, they did play well in terms of their attacks in the map of Icebox. Will we see something similar now for the map of Breeze? Right, that wall is just beautiful. They're just walking up. Well, initially supposed to be walking up, but they're double backing. They want to go ahead with those retakes, but it's gonna be Aphrodite spotting out a member of Aricat.Aresta, and she's gonna call for this for the rest of the team members of RTS. And I think the Mochi, she'll be ready for this push here towards this B side.
Yeah, and Kohibi getting a quick first kill already. Second kill as well with that ghost. Yoki gets taken down.
And this
Again,
is gonna be what, a plant now safe for the team of Aricat.Aresta, but that's gonna be what, the push here by the team of RTS. Kohibi already get 4 kills now, and that's gonna be just one person remaining. The ace is denied, and now this is gonna be a successful defuse for the team of RTS.
yeah, it's yet another ace denied, but Kohibi, again, this is what we talked about, right? The larger the map is, Kohibi is gonna hit those domes, and she got 4 kills off of headshots off that ghost. And Kohibi, we've talked about her. Like, we feature her at the beginning. Getting that 4K in this round is really a statement, right? Already opening things up with such a hot start. I think Renatus White are looking pretty good on Breeze, and they're gonna get the bigger guns here. There's the Marshals coming in, Spectres, even a Guardian on Aphrodite.
Yeah, the reason why Renatus White are up for that flank is because not only do they want to get the kills, but they also want that information. And Aphrodite has that Sova. You know that she has the recon bolt. She also has that drone, but she just really decides to just peek towards mid and get information. And that was just their success for that specific round. And right now, it's gonna be Envious here pushing up towards mid while the rest of her members are guarding their own parts of the map. And this is gonna be what? An advantage for them because they have all of the information that nobody is towards mid. So it's either going to be B or A. And right now, it's going to be A for the team of Aricat.Aresta, as the rest of the members are really flocked up towards the A part of the map. Right now, it's going to be Aphrodite spotting out the head of Yoki, but she doesn't know that Alyssa is here as well, but she's very cautious about this. And she spots out Alyssa here, gets 2K already. And in terms of the push, right now, while everything else is happening, that's going to be a plant here secured by Aricat.Aresta in this A site.
Yeah, that elbow push actually bought enough time for them, or at least serve as a big enough distraction to get the plant down. With Aphrodite with a 4K already here, that Guardian is paying off in dividends, so let's see if she can actually get the ace here. No, Noxy denies her yet another ace denied in this series with a headshot from a classic. I don't believe this. It's like we're so close to an ace, but it just never happens.
Yeah, I really wanted to call out maybe an Intel ace there, but can we call out an Intel almost ace for our audience here? I mean, that was just really fortunate for her because her position is so powerful. While, of course, Envious was guarding that part of the map, it was just really her securing those kills to make that round successful for them. But at least the Guardian is saved for this specific round, so it will be as effective against these rifles by the team, from the team of Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, and they've got pretty good bank here because they kept the Guardian. They have a Marshal right now. That's a Sheriff on legit Queen. So this is their bonus round. They're electing to go full bonus on this. No need to buy the rifles. The Guardian might just be enough for them actually if they take the range fights. If Aphrodite can actually hit the heads.
Yeah, I mean, she's up here again, the same position that she held the last time. She's gonna call out that that Trailblazer from Kohibi, and from Noxy. But right now, it's gonna be Aphrodite getting the kills yet again, and Noxy, she's gonna be shut down by the Marshal from Kohibi yet again. And right now, this is gonna be just a sweep here towards an ace site. They are able to enter, but they're not yet safe for that plant because somebody else is guarding that side of the map, and that's gonna be what? Legit Queen as well. But the good thing about this is Aricat.Aresta. Rosie has that Viper Spit available, and Rudy's also gets a kill towards Envious. So this is supposed to be a round for Aricat.Aresta, not unless Legit Queen pulls something off, proving to us that she is that Queen of Breeze. But right now, she's a little bit reserved because of that Viper Spit in Alyssa. She's the first one to spot out Legit Queen. Beautiful round there by Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, let's see Renatus White if they have enough in the bank right now to go for an operator, but I don't think. I think one of them might have. I believe it was Kohibi that had enough for it. Yeah, Envious actually. No, Envious actually has enough for it. So operator plus light armor onto Envious, and the rest of them are on the Vandal. So this is where it starts to get scary, right? This operator at mid watching down, basically the longest range gun in the game. Let's see if they can actually take Envious down. There's the dart coming out from the camera, but Envious takes that down. She's just gonna keep control over mid. Mochi is gonna spot someone out with her camera, so they know that someone's at least at B. But this is the beauty of Breeze, right? Look, they're selling fakes on both sides of the map just to keep them guessing. So right now there's no real rotation coming out from Renatus White just yet.
Yeah, they want to really have their feet rooted wherever their positions are. But, I mean, Aricat.Aresta, if she does peek here towards Kfredite, there's also going to be that operator here from Envious. So that's going to be quite scary for her. Not unless they just really choose to back down and just go towards that B site instead. And this Hunter's Fury not going to catch anybody just yet. Because of course she gets bitten by those Seekers from Noxy. At least they know where the team members of RTS are. So that is a cue for their plans. Right now, this is going to be a 5v4 now. Because Envious gets a kill with that operator. This is going to be quite scary for the team of Aricat.Aresta. As the rest of the team members really move forward to get that diffuse running, but it's gonna be Kfredite here, shut down by Yoki. It's a 2v1 right now. Another Legit Queen clutch here, 45 HP against 100 of Alyssa. Is she gonna be successful with this? She just tries to get that kill. She doesn't really know where Alyssa is, but she spots out the head. Is it gonna be a kill here? But Alyssa, nice peek by her, and it's a 2-2 here. Very, very close rounds here by Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, they got those kills. It was pretty much a massacre. Like, everyone just died within like 2 seconds of each other. And then Yoki, we see, gets the killer. That was a 3-for-3. And Legit Queen even thinks out here, but couldn't find Alyssa in the last one. I think she got shot just now, but she wasn't sure where Alyssa was still. And eventually, Alyssa secures the round for them. It was a bit costly. They lost 4 members, but they won 2 rounds in a row. So they can still keep their money. On the other hand, Renatus White, they're the ones hurting on their economy.
Yeah, I mean, their economy is just really low. It's just Kohibi with that Bulldog. But you know the magic that a Sheriff can do for the team. But it's gonna be what? Legit Queen here, tagged up and killed by that Hunter's Fury. And Rosie gets a kill of her own as well. This entry, they already get 3. And it's just down to Kfredite. I mean, we know her as Clutch Fredite, but given the situation, a 1v5 and just a Sheriff in hand, is she able to get maybe 2 first before we can really confirm this clutch? Although here, we do see that Kfredite gets a kill on towards Rudy's, but right now, she's very cautious about this, and she knows that Alyssa is gonna be here. She spots out the head, gets a kill, and knows that somebody is going on towards her, but she does switch to another Sheriff, but that's gonna be a blind here, confirming her position, and Rosie takes advantage of that and gets a kill on towards Aphrodite. Now a 3-2.
She got 2 kills. I think that's pretty okay given the situation. They also got the Hunter's Fury out, so being able to use these ultimates out, and especially when you're in Thrifty, you just want to make it as expensive as you can for the opposing team. And for the side of Aricat.Aresta, they used the Hunter's Fury. They lost 2 guns. Of course, ultimates are also part of your economy, because extra skills, of course, means extra damage or extra utility from your side. So Renatus White, this is their second buy round. They're gonna have to win this to bring things back, because right now Aricat.Aresta, they won 3 rounds in a row.
I mean, this is going to be the closest match that we've seen in terms of the first half right now. We've seen it come back at least for some of the rounds, but that's gonna be what? A dash forward, and that's punished by Yoki. At least Envious gets a kill. It's a 4v4 at the moment right now in terms of their positions for the attacking team. They're spread out in this map, and it was supposed to be an A hit. I mean, they've been they've been playing these defaults, which I think really plays on towards the minds of RTS, but that's gonna be Aphrodite, always hungry for that information, but shut down and punished here by Rosie and Mochi. She just gives up the B site, but that's gonna be the neural theft, and they know that nobody's here towards the B site, and that's Mochi. I mean, she gave up this site, but it's harder now to retake given that Viper spit key.
Yeah, it's gonna be so difficult to get into this, especially since they really don't have any way to flush them out right now. And they're gonna have to go in there and try to go for the kill. She looks away at the wrong time. Rosie getting a timing onto Mochi. Kohibi gets taken out by Alyssa as well, but Legit Queen, let's see if she can actually thrive in the enemy Viper's domain. She's gonna venture in. Rosie is gonna get the shot first though, and she's gonna take Legit Queen down, and Aricat.Aresta win their 4th round in a row.
Ooh, this is looking pretty good for Aricat.Aresta in terms of their attack. I mean, maybe the reason why they lost the map of Haven because they defended first, because they're so well with these attacking rounds. They really know how RTS would really play out of the rounds, they would defend, and they really want to play it slow. I mean, the team of Aricat.Aresta, they play it slow, and they play with the minds of RTS right now. Because as we saw earlier, Aphrodite did get hungry for that information. She just speaks very dry though, but right now in terms of dry peak here, it's gonna be envious with that Blade Storm against. Ooh, and right now that's gonna be what, a push towards mid and 3 down for the team of RTS.
Yeah, with only Sheriffs right now, that Blade Storm was their, I guess, hope for winning that round. Unfortunately for Envious, she only got Rudy. She almost got Rosie with just the micro adjustment. If she just reacted maybe a little bit slower on Rosie, then maybe she could have gotten the kills there, but it's just looking difficult right now for Renatus White because 2 Sheriffs, they're not going to win you this round unless you hit some really ridiculous shots.
Well, we've seen that from Mochi and Aphrodite, but right now, in terms of this one, it's gonna be Noxie caught off guard, but Rosie is gonna be there for that revenge kill, and it's just now up to Aphrodite, Clutch Aphrodite. Is this gonna be possible, though? She may just be able to get these exit frags that she needs, because there isn't enough time for that defuse. She does get the head of Yoki, but she's just gonna opt for those kills. That's gonna be the economy punished for the team of Aricat.Aresta. But she does manage to survive that explosion from that spike.
Yeah, that's really smart. She got 2 kills. She saved her Vandal, and now she has her Hunter's Fury. So look at this one. Almost got the 2nd kill onto that Viper. And this first shot on from Mochi X, you shouldn't be holding your Hawk out like that. And Aphrodite just swings out here, gets a headshot, gets a 2nd one as well. Before, I don't know what their movement was, but she just walked out of that like full swag. I got a Vandal and 2 kills. What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the punishment, quote-unquote punishment of that economy, not necessarily so rough for the team of ARC, as they can still buy out for maybe a couple of rounds moving forward, but the team of RTS, they force spot this operator here. Now, from Envious, she hasn't yet spotted anybody just yet though, because I think the members are very cautious about this because they know they have enough money for that operator, and we've seen Envious get a hold of that weapon. She's really fire on that, but Alyssa is gonna be fire against Kohibi. Kohibi being that well-skilled player, shut down by that Cypher. The rotations are coming in for the team of ARC towards that B site. Is that gonna be enough though? Because we see the Viper here, and as well as Aphrodite. She does have that Hunter's Fury available to try and slow down this push. What do you think, Key?
Yeah, I think if they can use the Hunter's Fury right now, I think they might find something, but they don't have enough information yet. They don't even have the Recon Bolt. There's Jet dashing in. Yoki has already gone to the side. Aphrodite is not in a position to use the Hunter's Fury right now, but Legit Queen is gonna get the first frag. And Rosie is going to take down Aphrodite though, so Legit Queen is here. Envious is there to help, making it a 3v3. They're going to get another kill. Legit Queen peeking just at the right timing. Yoki, however, takes Envious down with a quick headshot onto that operator. But now they're starting to run out of time, and they don't have the spike. They have to kill Legit Queen to actually take the spike. They do take her down finally, and the plant is going to go down. It might be denied by Mochi X, and if she can save time here, she might be able to survive it. She gets the headshot onto Yoki. Renatus White, and that's going to be a Nano Leaf clutch by Mochi X. She got the head in time.
Yeah, that was twice already that Yoki dashed forward. It was good intentions for her because she really wanted to get that kill. Maybe because she didn't have time for the plant anymore. But I mean, Alyssa just read it perfectly, and the rest of the members of RTS did have that idea. Okay, that was Mochi. That did have that idea that she is gonna opt for that kill instead, so that Mochi just punishing that dash. Now I'm at least a point in after Aricat.Aresta did get a lot of wins.
Yeah, I know. Look, Yoki actually has to have the Marshall here. Can buy full gun, I believe. So she used the Blade Storm instead. And I think for Renatus White, that was really well played by them. They really needed that round. And just getting those kills. I think Yoki wanted to go for the classic right-click shot. But unfortunately for her, the bullets did not land, and Mochi X is proving to be the threat yet again. Does not shoot yet. Great trigger discipline by her. Gets one, gets a second as well, and Renatus White are showing signs of life. The spike is stuck here right now with Mochi X.
Yeah, and Rudy's is here by the cubby, and I think Mochi knows where she is. So now there's gonna be that sprint down against Rudy's, and it's just one person remaining again. Alyssa as that lone cipher. What can she do? She's tasked to try and control the rotations here from RTS, but right now, what can she control? It's just maybe the kills that she's able to get, but Kuhaibi shuts down Alyssa. I mean, a 5-4 now. RTS answering back.
Yeah, that's a secret left flawless right there, and I think what may have changed for Renatus White, maybe they changed their gaming chairs. Maybe the secret lab chairs have arrived and they're sitting on it right now. But this was a really flawless round, and I'm not to knock on Mochi, but typically when you think Renatus White, you're talking about Envious, you're talking about Kuhaibi. But who's stepping up right now for Renatus White? It's Mochi X. The defense on both sides, the clutch on that B side was Mochi X, and it's starting to look like Renatus White are finding the correct answers to this mystery of Aricat.Aresta's offense.
Yeah, you asked, really, why did we pick a cipher? I mean, why did RTS or Aricat.Aresta pick a cipher? But it's just gonna be that raw skill in terms of using that agent, and that's Kuhaibi shutting down Yoki here in terms of this A push. But this is all a fake! The rest of the members of Aricat.Aresta are here towards B, and nobody from RTS is here. So this is gonna be just free for them, and especially with that Viper Spit and take 2 of the situation, as Rosie will play around her smoke. That's gonna be DK, and also blocked vision for them, but at least Kuhaibi gets that kill against her double. But right now, that's gonna be a perfect flash, but Alyssa shuts her down, and Mochi trades her out, at least makes it a 2v3. But I mean, Rosie is playing the same position as she did earlier, and at least Rudy's saves Rosie from that very, very aggressive position right now. So it's gonna be Caper Blighty spotted outside of that smoke. Now Rudy's, what can she do here? She's gonna be low. Mochi is just gonna get her, and this is not gonna be possible because there's not much time anymore for Mochi, and Rosie with that clutch. Amazing for her. Gets a 6-4 now, although she dies to the spike, but I think they do have enough money going into the next round.
Yeah, it was still expensive for Aricat.Aresta. For Renatus White, like you mentioned, they bit onto that fake a little bit too quickly. No one was watching mid on the possible rotate. I think if someone was just staring at mid, they probably would have seen that rotate. I don't think they needed all members on A at that point in time, but look at Renatus White. They still have enough creds for a full buy, at least for this round. On the other hand, Aricat.Aresta, there's actually a Bulldog going on to Noxie.
Yeah, is that gonna be enough though? But they need to really get this round, unless they do pull a little bit of magic there. I mean, I've seen a lot of Bulldog kills here in the map of Breeze, and it can be so powerful in the right hands. And I feel like Noxie is that lady with that Bulldog who can play this out in her favor. But right now, she is tasked to really see a little bit of aggression here from Halls, but nobody from RTS is peeking because they have that trap wire from that cipher. So now Noxie's just gonna push and hold this position while the rest of the members of ARC really push through this Viper's Pit. Good thing about this is there is that drone to clear out these corners, cause Legit Queen may be holding some cheeky ones here, cheeky angles, but she just backs away because she might be spotted out by that drone.
Yeah, and they're starting to look at the door because it actually opens. The NBS is going to take a listen down this Jet already dashing to the side. Rosie, there's trades left and right now, and it's all down to Noxie with that Bulldog. Kohaibi is going to use that flash. Going to get a little bit of information as to where roughly Noxie is. Flashes herself by mistake this time around. They know where Noxie is though because she shoots from the Bulldog, and they do have control over the spike. Noxie is going to use that flash to get the spike. Kohaibi gets the spray down though. And that's going to be the win for Renatus White. 5-6 right now. This game cannot be any closer.
Yeah, that was a good try for Noxie at least to try and isolate the duels. But if and when she does get that kill against Kuhaibi, there's going to be Mochi behind her. But right now, look at this. Kuhaibi just sprays her down. And in that situation, in these clutch situations that Noxie and the rest of the team members of ARC are in, RTS really finds a way to get it back in their favor. Because right now, it was very dominating for ARC in the first few rounds, but I think we're going to see a 6-6 here as RTX do find a lot. I mean, this is the last round of the half, and what they're saving, but is this going to be enough at least for them? Because the team of RTS, they hold the Vandals, they hold powerful weapons, but Yoki does fine, but it's going to be Mochi with 3 kills already. With just that same angle, they didn't really expect that Cypher to be there. But it's gonna be IB again, getting Rudy, and it's just one person remaining. It's gonna be Yoki here for that flag. Is it gonna be enough though to catch? Oh, she does get one, but Kohaibi spots her out as well. Again, a 6-6 key.
Yeah, it's really a close game, and Aricat.Aresta, because they got reset the round before, they really couldn't buy anything. That's why they had to settle for the Sheriffs. And Mochi X with that triple kill of Vandal really shutting any hopes that Aricat.Aresta had.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate for Yoki. She did have an idea that she can just flank, because most of the time the team of RTS have controlled a lot of their intentions to flank, just because they did get shut down by ARC. So Yoki wanted to do the same to RTS. It was just not enough because the rest of her team members were punished for just peeking one by one against Mochi. But right now, in terms of this attack, both of these teams have been very powerful with how they attack. It's just really up to the timing and up to the peaks. But right now, Envious is not stopping. She's just pressing W towards this B site.
Yeah, this whole W strat. But Legit Queen is going to take Yoki down. Rosie gets taken on Mochi as well, but Noxie gets a kill of her own. Envious is pushing up here, trying to discourage anyone from pushing into archers, but Noxie is going to be there. She's probably going to peek soon. Noxie takes one down, but Envious is there, peeks by the door. Oh, the headshot actually, but Kohaibi is finally going to clean things up. Renatus White, that was such a messy round. It was like kills left and right. It was trades for days, and Renatus White come out on top with that Kohaibi left alive.
Yeah, it was a messy round, but Kohaibi, being that skilled player for the team of RTS, she manages to turn things around in their favor. And right now, it's the first time that we're seeing in this map RTS taking the lead to a 7-6. And ARC, in terms of this defense, while they were very strong in terms of their attack, can they hold the aggression of RTS given all of the utilities that they can be faced with, especially with Kohaibi as that Sky? And right now Envious is doing the same strat as they did earlier, but there is going to be a free plant here by RTS because the team of ARC, they just stacked A. They didn't really think this through, that okay, maybe
they wanted to bet
timing, or it was just unfortunate in terms of the bets though. It's gonna be K-Aphrodite.
Yeah, with a quick headshot there. Wanted to go for more. Legit Queen is there to go for more kills. Envious takes one down as well. K-Aphrodite is still holding strong here. Legit Queen just waiting for contact. There's the recon bolt coming out. K-Aphrodite peeks out, gets a little bit of damage done. And it's going to be a completely flawless round. It's a Secret Life flawless for the side of Renatus White. None of them took a single point of damage that round.
Yeah, and it's our first secret lab flawless, and it's because maybe of the comfort that they're having in terms of that post plant already. And look at this, because legit Queen just really wanted to save the round with Aphrodite. I mean, they wanted to mow them down because they know that the team of ARC, they're saving. So, okay, they didn't really want to risk some of the economy damage if the team of ARC did get some kills there. So that was just a good job for the team of RTS to get that flawless, because this is now their bonus against what? Vandals. And I mean, all of them are holding Vandals. Quite surprising because, of course, the map of Breeze, you have to be holding these long-range fights, and a Vandal is very powerful in these situations.
Yeah, the Vandals are actually the best rifles here. Phantoms, maybe in terms of preference, some would like it, but the Operator, of course, being the best gun in the map. And right now, on the side of Renatus White, they have the Spectres. They have one Guardian and one Marshal, though. So I do like that Aphrodite buys the Guardian in round number 3, because it really gives her the range to be able to get those headshots. It's almost like a mini, like, semi-automatic rifle in that sense. And Kohaibi with the Marshal, of course, will be pretty deadly still. Shoots a few bullets into the smoke, but won't really get enough kills or damage done. The spike is actually all the way onto the A site, so this fake might just actually be sold. And it looks like they're going to slowly check out the site, trying to see if they can find anything, waiting for the rest of the team to come in before they commit. But Alyssa with a quick headshot onto Aphrodite. I think they know what's up. They're starting to rotate from Aricat.Aresta all the way onto the A site. The spike is not down yet. There's the wall coming up. Gonna deliver the spike to safety. Mochi is just gonna go up and plant the spike. This is all they need. This is all they want. The 300 extra creds. Make a little bit of chaos for the side of Aricat.Aresta. The flashes do come in. They have the Spectres. Yoki takes one down. It's on down to 3v5. That shock dart is gonna hit so hard on the enemy. There's 30 HP left on her. It's all down to legit Queen, who gets taken down by Yoki. And it's gonna be yet another flawless round, but this time on the side of Aricat.Aresta.
Yeah, secret lab flawless yet again. I mean, how they're trying to. I mean, we had two. We had two, right?
Yeah, two back
Just
to back.
in the
I
recent
mean,
rounds. Yeah.
maybe I don't know. I mean, Secret Lab's definitely got your back, and this back-to-back flawless switching between two teams really shows the whole narrative of this series, right? It went to 1-1, we went to 6-6 on map number 3, and now Aricat.Aresta are trying to bring it back. But this time, Renatus White also have rifles, so let's see if Aricat.Aresta can defend against their onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few seconds wherein all of the flashes were all over the place, so I can imagine being a player in that specific arena we're in. Okay, I'm just blinded. The good thing about us being obs is at least we just see these visual cues that the person is blinded. But right now, that's going to be what? RTS here getting control of this side. But Mochi, she's gonna be greeted by Alyssa, but at least Aphrodite gets that trade, and Envious here gets the kills as well. It's just gonna be Yoki, who was waiting for legit Queen, spots out Aphrodite, but is she able to get the kill? She is up for that clutch, but is it ever possible now with Kohaibi here? Just really chickle peeking. A small pixel of the head. She didn't quite catch that just yet, but she knows that there will be that guiding light from Sky, and she just opts to rotate. Because they might exit through the cave, and at least the objective of Yoki now is to get those exit frags, or maybe save this gun.
Yeah, I think after that flash, she just knows she doesn't have the opportunity for it. And great discipline there by Renatus White not peeking her. Like, you could see that Yoki was trying to slice the pie there, slowly peeking, slowly looking for heads, could not find any at all. They knew she was at doors, and they knew that they didn't need to peek. Don't give her the opening to get that kill. And that secures the round for Renatus White. Yet another reset for Aricat.Aresta, though. I'd like to mention, the previous round was their bye round, which means that losing this round, they get completely reset yet again. And Renatus White with this 9-7 lead, they have guns, and on the side of Aricat.Aresta, even though they get reset, they still saved a little bit of economy from the previous round, so they are going to... And saving the gun, that extra save gun from Yoki actually helps. So they now have full rifles too.
Yeah, the full rifles though. What can they make do with this right now? Because there's gonna be the Trailblazer here, shut down. But that's gonna be what? The tripwire. She walked through that, not able to get a kill though, but Envious is gonna be there for the punish because she saw Alyssa there in that position. And right now, another Viper spit here. Another Viper spit play here by RTS. But they're just getting the kills. There's not going to be a retake that's happening for ARC because Envious gets a 3k and the rest of the members get kills of their own. And this is just what RTS with a comeback. Initially, the lead was Arcs. But right now, what? RTS is answering back with just the kills. And right now, these Vandals are proving to be such an investment for them.
Now we're actually finally seeing the reset. Like I mentioned, we actually saw where the Cypher comes into play here. There's the trap wire actually finding Envious. However, Alyssa wasn't able to capitalize on that information. Even though Envious was pushed back and spotted, she wasn't able to get that kill. So we see the intent, but the execution just wasn't there for Aricat.Aresta. They're doing the exact same thing yet again with the Cyber Cage onto B. Envious dashing in, Kohaibi getting kill onto Rosie XP. This is definitely a set play from Renatus, but we've seen it over and over again on this B side. Yoki not getting those kills, one dagger left. Has to get legit Queen with a headshot here, switches onto her shorty instead. Gets sprayed a little bit. Is she gonna get a kill on the shorty? No. Legit Queen gets a headshot through the wall, and Mochi X gets another one off her own. It's all down to Alyssa. Only as a sheriff. She's gonna get taken down by legit Queen. And yet another flawless round. So another secret out flawless. That's 4 in the last 5 rounds, I believe. And man, like the rounds are just going one way or the other. And right now it looks like Renatus might have Aricat.Aresta's number.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a 7-11 and it's in the convenience of RTS right now. That was a flawless round, a secret lab flawless for this one. Right now, in terms of how they are able to answer back, Yuki is holding this operator. Well, we did see her get quite a few kills there in Icebox. Will she be able to get one as well here? RTS, they're slowing down this push. They know that there might be an operator into play here for the team of Aricat.Aresta. So now RTS, they're very careful about this, but Envious wins that duel against an operator? What?
Yeah, it shouldn't really be happening, but Aricat.Aresta are taking it back with headshots left and right. Noxy and Rosie. Noxy getting 2 off her own. Noxy getting topped up a little bit from the losing the decay here. Alyssa takes Kohaibi down though. It's all down to legit Queen. 1v3 right now for her. It's gonna be looking really difficult. Gets 1 kill, immediately ducks recover. Bullets flying left and right. There's a snake bite as well, getting her vulnerable. She still has 50 seconds though, but she doesn't have the spike, so she has to play into this A site.
Yeah, she just rotates toward that part of the map. I mean, in terms of the cave, though, she's just 1 bullet away from dying and putting this back on a platter for our ARC right now. But she does still have that snake bite, so if she knows where the positions of ARC are, then maybe she can use the snake bite and then get that kill, make sure that they're vulnerable. But right now, that was a jiggle here by Rosie, and she gets that kill against legit Queen. And 8-11 now, stopping RTS from getting that match point.
Yeah, this game has really been back and forth, right? Like, even though Renatus White look like they're so close to match point, you can't count Aricat.Aresta out, and it's going to be a timeout. Let's see who actually called this timeout. And it looks like for Renatus White, they're buying an operator of their own, Kohaibi. With that operator, the rest of them have 9k though, so that just goes to show how much creds Renatus White had in the bank. They all had 9k each because they had a flawless round the previous round, and it looks like Renatus White are the ones calling this timeout. They want to basically slow down, find a plan, because they're on the attacking side. They can dictate the pace here, and this is where they can get match point if this timeout comes to fruition.
Yeah, and they want to really secure this win because if they do get match point, I mean, they just really want to stop the momentum of ARC from rolling down and snowballing, because that's what happened in the map of Icebox, right? ARC did have that momentum. They were on fire. And right now, RTS wants just to put a halt to ARC getting that momentum. Because, I mean, in terms of their buys right now, while Kuhaibi did opt to buy that operator, she switched back to that Vandal. That was gonna be an interesting buy though. She just really wants to take that rifle and secure this win right now. I mean, economy wise, as you mentioned, they're very healthy and they are able to maybe buy at least for at least 3 rounds right now. And they just want to secure match point at this. Ooh, that's gonna be a Viper Spit here. That slows down Envious's push.
Yeah, the Viper Spit plus the Snake Bite completely discouraging Envious from pushing. There's a Hunter Spear getting used as well for some information and some chaos. Aphrodite is just using it. Envious getting the kill, switches to the Vandal. They get kills left and right. Envious and Kohibi get the kills 4v2 right now. All down to Alyssa and to Yoki. All down onto Yoki. Only one left alive and is going to get taken down by the firing squad. Kohibi with a triple kill. And it's going to be a 12-8 scoreline. Match point for Renatus White.
I mean, 8-12 match point now for RTS. Will ARC let them get this win? I mean, this is the closest that we've had. The closest match that we've had in the couple of series that we did see earlier on. And right now, I really want to see ARC fight for a little bit. I mean, I want them to not have RTS get this win.
They're trying.
Because I mean, right now, ARC, they haven't really had the chance to snowball victories once they did defend.
Yeah.
Because in terms of RTS now, they're reading ARC like a book.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Look at Kohibi getting the first kill onto Yoki. That's the Vandal down. The rest of Aricat.Aresta only have Spectres, Guardians, Marshals. It's your typical round 2 buys. And they don't have a good rifle on them right now. And Envious is just going to push for a little bit more territory at mid here. But it looks like Renatus White are still... They're still taking this... The safer route, so to speak. They went to A for a little bit, but the spike is actually going to B because they have all the territory at the mid already. And all of the defenders are going through the defender spawn. So through arches, it's going to be really difficult because there's only one side you're coming from.
Yeah, and this flank from Envious is gonna be so great because she spunks out. Rudy's here, gets a second, and it's now down to a 1v3. Can Rosie clutch this out? But it's gonna be a different scenario. She did win clutches using the Viper Spit, but this is her opponent's Viper Spit, so she needs to be able to isolate these duels. She needs to be able to get a kill towards Aphrodite here, who's hugging that corner, but it's gonna be Aphrodite getting that win at 2-1 now for RTS. Such a wonderful round there by RTS. It was supposedly something that's winnable for Aricat.Aresta, but that flank from Envious was just really what turned it around for them.
Yeah, and it definitely was a close match, all until the defender side for Aricat.Aresta. Renatus White just looked quite sharp on the attacking side as well, but for defense, it looks like Aricat.Aresta were just a bit slower. Maybe on their rotations, maybe they don't have the correct angles. They're just not getting the right reads from Renatus White. And with that, we're going to go for a short break because we are going to break this series down right after this quick break.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, and you're joining me again on the desk here, Illustrato, but alongside me, no longer Jace and no longer Pachi. It's going to be Donut and Key. They just came off of casting that previous game, which was an absolute slobber knocker with two really great teams, and with Renatus White ending up in a 2-1 scoreline, the first 3-game series that we saw here today. So let's go ahead and start breaking it down. I'm going to bring it down to you, Donut, right ahead. We saw an amazing performance here by Renatus White. Stumbled a little bit over game number 2, but it came back and ended up in a win here. Your thoughts on the last game?
On the last game, it was really pure gameplay for the team of RTS. I mean, in terms of their communication, they might say that that is going to be their challenge, but basically how they just held each angle with another person with a crossfire, or basically having each other's backs, that was really one of the things that got them that win. It was initially Aricat.Aresta's lead, but once they got to a 7-6, it was a snowball from there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Really, when Renatus White is one of those teams that you really look at and say, man, when they get the momentum on their side, they really don't let go of it. Case in point, game number 1, and a little bit of that in game number 3. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the statistics right here. Key, let's run it together with me. Kohibi at the top right there, alongside Rudy S. 380 combat score and 20 kills. But really, the whole game, we were actually hyping up not just Kohibi, but a lot of it came down to, well, this was game number 1 that we are looking at actually, so it is apt here, but still 3.5 KDA for Mochi X in that game, also 4.0 for none other than Keferdaddy, and a complete stomp of a performance from Renatus.
Yeah, they're looking really strong right now. And for map number 1, I think we'll go through this in the second and third map as well. Renatus White started on the attacking side, and Aricat.Aresta just don't look that good on defense as they do on the attacking side. So that's something I want to point out in the next 2 maps, because that's where things start to get interesting. So the first map, we didn't really get to see Aricat.Aresta's attacking powers because they didn't have enough rounds to actually show us that. 13-1 immediately when the sides swapped, they basically didn't have any time to show what they had. They had the Sky plus Sova, but there really was no rounds for them to play around with.
Yeah, it's just the nature of these big maps, so difficult to rotate from the defenders and the attackers being able to really go where they want. And that really made things a little bit easier for Aricat when they got the starting side on the attack, and they looked a lot more comfortable on. However, coming in the following days, as they are in the lower bracket, that's something that they will need to adjust here. Now, Donut, we'll go to you on this one. After we saw what we just saw, what do you think has to be the biggest point of improvement for Aricat.Aresta aside from their defensive side? Because, it seemed like they were, hot a lot of those times, especially like here in game number 2, where Aricat.Aresta did come out with a dominant victory, 13-5. You had Rosie XP with like 310 ACS as well, and they were all hitting shots and they were all communicating well, but it still left a lot to be desired on their defensive half.
Yeah, the defense of Aricat.Aresta in the second one was very, very stellar. I mean, for the team of Aricat.Aresta, they did show why they picked this specific map. In terms of their attack, they did have these rounds wherein they were well coordinated, unlike what they've shown us in the map of Haven. But for RTS, what they weren't able to do is really get those shots initially, because maybe it was just not necessarily their map pick. That's why the team of ARC did get those rounds. But okay, while there were clutches there for Kohibi, especially for that specific one wherein she did fake out. Not necessarily fake, because she got it to half, right?
Yeah.
But then she was ready for that peak. I mean, in terms of the raw skill that the team of RTS do have, they showed it in the map of Haven, but not necessarily Icebox, because right now, in terms of the unpredictability, it was ARC that prevailed. But okay, there were some mishaps here and there, but RTS, they showed that in map number 3. They were able to redeem their mistakes by getting them right in map number 3.
Yeah, well, speaking of map number 3, here we have it. Renatus White emerging victorious in a 13-8 victory. At the very tippy top for Renatus was Envious, but I think we can all agree that there was one person that we looked at, not exactly the best in terms of KDA, but the impact in those rounds. Mochi X was just absolutely stellar in that last game. Key, your thoughts on this last map?
It just really goes to show for me that Aricat.Aresta are much better on the attacking side than the defensive side. But in Breeze, we saw Renatus White actually slow down that attack from Aricat.Aresta. They went 6-6 even after Aricat.Aresta went off to that hot start. Renatus White, however, took it back, and on the attacking side, they looked better than they did on the defensive side too. So that's what really gave Renatus White this win. And I think that it's really those clutches, right? From Mochi X. I think she strung a triple kill that was in the highlights just now, and then a 4 kill in the round after that, and that really just started the momentum shift towards the side of Renatus White.
Yeah, and that's definitely one thing that I think Renatus White bank on a lot. It seems like when they have that one round, that one moment that they like, oh damn, we're here to play, they start running with it. And that's exactly what we saw in the final rounds here, however. Now, we are going to be going back to our faces for the meantime, but right before we pass it off and go into the interview, Donut, I'm going to ask you real quick here. How are you feeling for the upcoming games here of Renatus White? It's a little bit more, I'd say, of a forgiving bracket, I'd say, for them. But if I'm not mistaken, they might. I think they're playing up against Celeste tomorrow, especially after they won. Yeah, and that might be a little bit of a tough spot here. Any ideas on or any thoughts on what that might look like tomorrow?
Yeah, they need to be able to pick up the pieces, the mistakes that they made, especially in the map of Icebox. They need to be able to rework and rebuild their strategies to make it a little bit of a seamless defense and offense for them. But in terms of really prepping up, I think it's really more of the confidence game that they need right now, a reset in terms of the mindset, because they're going up against the top one team. And Renatus White, they've always been at the top, but leveling it to 3 and 4 at the moment. So right now they have to get up their game in terms of the confidence, in terms of the practice that they have. They need to do a little bit of a meeting, maybe do a regroup on how they are able to try and battle it out against the team of AE Celeste, because they're going against the big guns of FSL.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think one of the keys to success here, again, one of the only maps that Alter Ego Celeste does lose on, and it showed earlier on, is on Icebox. So a little bit concerning for the side of Renatus White that they actually did take a loss on Icebox, one of the maps that they should have on lock, especially coming up against Alter Ego Celeste. But we'll discuss that a little bit tomorrow. What we do want to talk about right now, for the meantime, is our interview with the amazing, of course, Mochi X, who is joining us right now. We're going to be pulling her up, and she's going to be joining us right here, or rather, joining me. She is a letter R right now, unfortunately. Welcome to the desk, Mochi. Congratulations on your win. How are you feeling?
Hello, thank you. I'm feeling good. Feeling good that we won the game. It was a pretty close game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be so excited too. Like, best of 3. How does it feel to get, like, when you're in game number 3, the rounds are so close, and then that winning moment? What does it feel like, especially as a competitive player, to finally get that win after a very close series?
It was quite nervous, but I was managed to pull through the entire third map, because it's a third map tiebreaker,
Yeah.
So yeah, we all managed to get ourselves back, and we won the game together.
Yeah, that's the second time you've won against Aricat.Aresta. The last time you won against them, it was a 2-0 in FSL Open number 6. Now, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about your games tomorrow. You're facing off against the potential favorite of this tournament, Alter Ego Celeste. How are you going about that? What are you doing to prepare? And what's the morale like going into that game?
For tomorrow, today we just need to reset, get a rest. Then tomorrow we are ready to fight them.
Okay. Feeling confident about it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is what I like to hear. Again, but before, excuse me, before I go and before I let you go, of course, one last question here. Who is the number 1 team that you guys want to be facing? I know we've probably asked you this before, but for those who are just tuning in, any one team in particular that you want to be facing in this tournament?
I would say Nigma Galaxy.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. On the other side of the bracket. So hopefully we get to see that if you guys get to the upper bracket final. So yeah, again, thank you very much for joining us on this desk. And Mochi X, amazing performance from you today. And I hope to see more from you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, there you had it. We just had word from Mochi X of Renatus White, who did come out of this first first series that went to game number 3. This first best of 3, and wow, what an absolute stunner it was. I want to get your impressions. Any final thoughts at the end of the day here? Right before we go on and talk about the rest of the bracket, Donut, I'll start things off with you. What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, I mean, there were 4 series that we've seen earlier, and it was just really the best of the best coming out on top. So in terms of the upper bracket, we're going to be seeing a lot of fight. But when it comes to the lower brackets, they're going to be out there. Their objective is to claw their way out of the bottom towards that top, and maybe get that win against the favorites of FSL Elite, which is going to be Alter Ego Celeste.
Oh yeah, you hit the nail right on the head, 100%, dude. Just that upper bracket looking rock solid. We got NGX versus Mad Army. Enigma Galaxy, they're looking strong as ever after that 2-0 off of Asteria. Right after that, we're also going to get to see Alter Ego Celeste versus Renatus White. Key, man, it's an absolute stacked deck here in the upper bracket.
Yeah, I love it. And I thought that these 4 teams were going to be the ones to advance from day number 1. And it really goes to show that, yes, these are the top 4 teams right now. I mean, we've seen some lower bracket runs before that were absolutely crazy. So I wouldn't discount that, but right now, these are the 4 clear teams that made it to the top. When we talk about the top 3, it always was Alter Ego Celeste, Enigma Galaxy, and then Renatus White. And then Mad Army, of course, being the last addition to FSL Elite, going through wildcards after reforming with a new roster. We knew how strong they were going to be coming into this. And we're just going to have to see whether Mad Army can really give NGX a run for their money, and whether Renatus White have upped their game to be able to match Alter Ego Celeste.
Here's a real quick question for you, Donut, before we move on and talk about the schedule. We look at that lower bracket, and are there any teams that you look at, specifically, Donut, for that lower bracket that you think might be able to make a deep run and maybe challenge or maybe be a dark horse to take an upset and take this entire tournament?
Well, looking at the series number 3 that we saw, TC.Aresta did show us that in terms of battling it out against AE Celeste. They were able to make it close in the map of Icebox, wherein AE Celeste has always been dominating in that. And TC.Aresta, given the stats that we've seen them, they're not necessarily they've clawed their way out, especially in wildcard and the previous FSL Opens. But I mean, the fact that they were able to get these rounds, making it so close against AE Celeste, I think they have something up their sleeves.
Yeah, I think, everybody at this point, Alter Ego Celeste, they've had the biggest target on their back since the very beginning of the year here, Key. Is there any team that you think look like they can do it, maybe pull it off? And, somebody has to have their number. Might be Mad Army, might be Enigma Galaxy. Who are you thinking here?
I'm thinking Enigma Galaxy can give them a run for their money. Today they look extremely dominant, and I feel like they're the type of team that won't rest on their laurels. Second place is not enough for them, and for someone like Trix, we saw elevated gameplay from them today. And I said it a while ago, but AE Celeste looked a bit mortal today, and Enigma Galaxy looked like they've improved. So just by those two alone, I feel like tomorrow's series will really have NGX and maybe AE Celeste come out onto the winners bracket finals, and we'll probably see a bloodbath from there on.
I actually had a chance to speak with Trix a little bit today, and then she told me that she actually has not slept the entire day, and I messaged her after the game, hey, congratulations, and she goes, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go to sleep now, I haven't slept, and she can pull out a 4.0 KDA and a performance like that with absolutely zero sleep. Just goes to show you the potential of these teams. But let's go ahead and talk about the schedule. What are we expecting tomorrow? We'll pull it up for you guys just so you see what you can expect for the upcoming days here at the FSL. It's going to be super exciting because we have a lot to look forward to. 4 games for the rest of the day here tomorrow. A little bit more of the same. We saw a lot of 2-0s today, but hoping that it doesn't be the same thing. Key, what is this? What is the matchup that you are looking forward to tomorrow?
I think the most exciting one for tomorrow is NGX versus Mad Army, because Mad Army is that wildcard team. Like I mentioned, they're a reformed team. NGX is number 2. So NGX against Mad Army, we can really tell where Mad Army sits in the power rankings, right? This is where we can see maybe they're team 1.5. Maybe they're actually going to insert themselves between AE Celeste and NGX. Or maybe NGX are a clear number 2. Or maybe even potentially the potential number 1 of FSL Elite.
Yeah, I personally, I'm looking forward to seeing Big Scythe play tomorrow up against VLT Asteria. I definitely think that might be a little bit closer than we might think. Even if it came down to 0-2 for both of these teams, I really think that could be a very competitive one. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Now, what about you, Donut? Any games that you're looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, I'm gonna back up what I said earlier. I'm looking forward to TC.Aresta get that win against ARC, because right now they're looking solid in terms of their comp, especially with Alexi and Ali being always going to be on top of the scoreboard for the team. And against ARC, I mean, ARC did win the map of Icebox earlier for series number 4, but they're not necessarily impenetrable, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, I think in terms of how TC Arise will claw their way back up, I think it's going to be, of course, the matches for tomorrow and the following one. So that's gonna be what I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, tomorrow we mentioned it, Enigma Galaxy versus none other than Mad Army, the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, the defense of Galaxy Racer before the stifling attack of Mad Army. That one is definitely going to be a highlight tomorrow. We got a lot in store for you guys. Any final thoughts at the end of the day, Key?
Well, to me, the games have been very exciting today. We saw one really close series at the end of the day, and tomorrow I feel like we're going to be seeing 2-1s across the board.
Donut, follow up on that.
Yep, and no more 2-0s, hopefully, because we want to see exciting matches for tomorrow.
Well, absolutely. You said it perfectly, nailed it right there. But I'm going to unfortunately have to say it's time for us to go. Good games and good night to everybody. This has been Valorant Game Changer Southeast Asia Series on the FSL Elite. We've got more Valorant coming your way tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned. Same time, same place, same URL, and don't, of course, make sure to check out all of our sponsors that have made this entire tournament possible. So again, thank you to everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.